That one's popped foul off the bat of Perone, 0-2. Aggie defense looks like this. It's shot in left, Lavalette in center, and Montgomery in right. Hovick at third, Camarillo at short, Chestnut at second, and Ted Burton at first. Here's the pitch, 0-2. Got him, fastball upstairs. Perone chases it. 2 strikeouts of the night so far for Ryan Prager.
6 pitches, 6 strikes. Couldn't have asked for a better start from Prager. We talked about it before the open, and he has just kind of lived that dominate the zone mentality and taken the reins on Friday night. Good, and appears to be headed for another quality stint today.
Yeah, and Jim Schlossnagle talked about it in the pregame show. He'd like to see Prager get extended as there's a breaking ball swing and a miss to Michael Anderson.
There's an 0-0 slider. The first one of those we've seen this inning.
Anderson, the sophomore out of Haventown, Pennsylvania. Bats from the right side, 160 on the year. Another strike, quickly working his Prager. Back to the Saunders.
A pitch away from an immaculate inning. Be 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches if he can get a put away here.
Ball looking for Prager, the 0-2. Popped up to center. Lavalette to that left center gap. Jace underneath it and makes the grab. 9 pitches, 3 outs for Ryan Prager, and a 1-2-3 frame for the sophomore lefty here in the tier with a 4-game set out in the Valley at UTRGV. Took one of those and then ended up going to Virginia Tech the next weekend, got swept by the Hokies, and then last weekend made the long trek from Rhode Island all the way out to Pullman, Washington to face Washington State. Took the series finale on Sunday and won that one 6-3 as Gavin Grahovic digs in from the right side, and the Rams are going to shift to the pull side as the freshman steps in and takes a called strike.
Very interesting to see Rhode Island pull out a shift on the first hitter of the game. Obviously, the more games A&M plays, the more the book gets out. So I'm sure they've got a percentage in the dugout, and that's why they're going to go ahead and go and shift.
One downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. First time we've seen Grahovic with the shift this year. We've seen it a lot for Jace Laviolette and even Brady Montgomery from the left side.
It's interesting because the way they've been pitching Gavin would lead you to believe that he could really wear out that 4-hole where the second baseman vacated.
Gavin takes that one the other way, hits it hard down the right field line, hooking foul into the concourse here at Bluebell Park. Count 1-2 now to the third baseman out of Orange, California. Gavin on the year, 348, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs.
Groyahan's got a chance to be pretty aggressive with the strike zone because of this wind here today. I think it's going to keep a lot of the balls in the yard. We know that the wind plays a factor on how offensive Olsen can be.
Yeah, just blowing in ever so slightly in from center as that one's popped foul and Grahovic stays alive. Probably the first time all year, Bronny, where it's been windy here at Olsen and it hasn't been frigid. So we'll take it.
Yeah, you don't see a north wind with it not, your teeth not chattering very often here. It's usually very cold if there's a north wind.
So everyone settles in on a nice Friday night. That one hits Grahovic right on the back, right in the number 9. He'll take his bag and the leadoff hitter aboard for the Aggies.
Boy, the top of the Aggie order been getting beat up the last couple of weeks, but Gavin will take that. That's a 2-strike at bat with, fouled off a couple of pitches. Groyahan's been up to 93 miles an hour on our TrackMan as well as on the scoreboard, so it's not like he's throwing soft.
Got it up and in. I'd like to have that one back as he'd gotten ahead 1-2, and now he's got to face Jace Laviolette with a runner aboard, no outs, and the shift coming from the Rams this time. They're going to shift to the pull side of the left-handed hitting center fielder as Jace dribbles that one fouled off, nearly off the foot of Michael Early, the first base coach for the Aggies. Nolan Kane at third tonight. Jace on the year, 381, 6 home runs and 21 RBIs.
It's crazy that he's got those numbers, and you're like, man, you'd like to see Jace get going, right? Just because we're so used to him with the extra base hits and homers. We haven't seen that, I believe, since the last midweek against Lamar.
Against Lamar, yeah, it's his last homer. 0-1. From the stretch, Groyohan fires a strike, 0-2.
Now, he did have the triple in Arlington, and he's had a couple of infield singles where he's shown off the elite speed that he's got in that 6'6", 230-pound frame.
Good lead for Gavin Grahovic at first. Groyohan comes set, delivers a fastball and blew it past Jace. So 3 pitches, there's a punch out for Groyohan, 1 down.
Pretty good mix there from Groyohan. He went changeup on the 0-1. Didn't get Jace to move at it and got a called strike, and then sped him back up on the 0-2.
Don't see Jace get beat a ton with a fastball up and away. Johan gets that by the Aggie center fielder. Here's Braden Montgomery, the SEC leader in RBIs at 23. Going to bat from the left side. Still the shift employed by Rhode Island with Grohovic at first, and Braden takes a strike.
Johan been 90 to 93 here in this first inning with the heater. Did flash that good changeup to Jace.
Johan from the stretch in his third start of the season. Comes set the 0-1. Braden scrapes that one foul, quickly 0-2. So Johan's been able to get ahead. Had a 1-2 count to Grohovic before plunking him in the back, and struck out Laviolette a moment ago on three straight strikes. Now Montgomery in the hole, 0-2 as Hayden Schott awaits on deck.
Yeah, he's been unafraid. He had one pitch that got away from him from Grohovic, but again, he hit him in a 1-2 count. So Johan been all over the strike zone here early.
Line drive off the bat of Braden Montgomery, hooking towards that left center gap. It's going to hit and roll to the wall. Grohovic around second, headed towards third. He's going to get the go-ahead. Grohovic coming to the plate, the throw not in time, and it's an RBI double off the bat of Braden Montgomery, and the Aggies lead 1-0. RBI number 24 for the SEC's RBI leader, Braden Montgomery.
That's so good, man. I mean, he's just such a talented hitter, and his at-bats, Tyler, over the last couple of weeks have been must-see television. And hitting into a win tonight, he just stays on the ball and rockets it at the 44 farm sign there in left center and splits the gap, and you get to see Grohovic's elite athleticism as he turned the bases there and scored from first. But if there's anybody playing better baseball right now in America than Braden Montgomery, I'd like for you to point him out.
Yeah, please put him in front of us, because the last 4 games for Braden Montgomery has been absolutely, really the last 6 have been spectacular. The last 4, the way he's been able to hit the ball to both gaps has been quite impressive. And now has increased that SEC RBI lead up to 24. It's his 3rd double of the season. Now he's in score position for Hayden Schott with 1 down.
We have a ball get loose down the line, or is a bullpen door open?
Looks like the bullpen door's open. Somebody trots down the right field line. I think a Rhode Island manager's going to go take care of that as we play in the bottom of the first. Hayden Schott awaits patiently to face Connor Grovejohan. Montgomery with already a good lead at second, the stretch. And there's a slider down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Hayden was really the catalyst in the Aggies' 7-3 win over Texas Southern. A&M trailed that game 3-1. Schott's 3-run home run got the Aggie offense going on Wednesday night. Schott at 198 with a home run, 8 RBIs. Fouls that one off. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, it seems like Schott, he's had a good week. You mentioned the 3-run home run Wednesday, had a few RBIs against Texas on Tuesday, and when this guy gets going, he has got real hitterish qualities. He'll spray the ball all over the field, got good gap power, will hit some home runs.
Johan comes set, the 1-1. Ooh, big swing from Schott. Swung it out of his shoes, and Hayden down on the count 1-2.
That was interesting. We don't get a replay here, but it's like his right foot kind of went out from under him. I don't know if it was that big of a swing or if he just lost the footing on his stride foot.
Schott in the hole, 1-2. Ted Burton awaits on deck. Here's the pitch. Schott chops that one foul.
Pitch clock was well at 0 when that ball was thrown.
Sure was. Something Rhode Island sure has played with this year, but
it takes a while for these schools from up north to just kind of get in the swing of the pace of the game.
Good lead from Montgomery at second. Here's the pitch. Schott puts a charge in that one to center, but McKenzie back towards the track. Now will come in and make the grab. Montgomery back to second, but not going to tag as the throw comes in. Braden slipped there just for a minute and decided to stay put. So a fly out to center retires Hayden Schott. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
Not a bad 2-strike swing from Hayden there. Just missed it, but you got it on the barrel and hit it well. That's one of those balls, Tyler. I'm not saying it's going to be a homer with a south wind, but it's certainly going to push the center fielder back enough to where Braden can tag and advance. And he might have, had he not slipped on top of the bag with that right foot as he tried to plant and go.
Still runner in scoring position, 2 down. And it'll be Ted Burton, senior out of Huntington Beach, getting the start at first base tonight. Takes that slider outside, 1-0. Ted on the year, 353, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. He really solidified his spot in the middle of this A&M order. Johan set at the chest and peppers a fastball in at 91.
Johan's stuff's pretty good. I've been fairly impressed here in the first inning. Fastball, like I said, been 90 to 93. Has worked in some good areas of the plate.
And he's been a two-way player for the Rams over his first 2 years as that nearly eclipsed Burton. Came inside, counting out 2 balls, 1 strike. Johan's longest outing of the year came at UTRGV in a Rhode Island win. Got the no decision, but went 5 innings, struck out 6. He's averaged about 75 pitches per outing, and here's the 2-1. Slider way outside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
It's a good take by Teddy. That's been, for he and Gavin Grahovic, that pitch, that I call it a decision-making slider, that starts on the plate away and breaks off, has given them a little bit of problems here early in the season. It's a good job laying off.
Montgomery off with the pitch, gets past the catcher. It's going to be a walk to Burton. Braden Montgomery up to third.
He should get a stolen base there. He was moving on that pitch.
So now it sets the stage for Jackson Appel, one of A&M's hottest hitters.
Yeah, if there's no such thing as Braden Montgomery, Jackson Appel will be getting a lot of the headlines. Yeah.
Had a really nice night in Austin on Tuesday as his bats heated up. Jackson at 400 on the year, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Transfer out of Penn, who will bat from the left side with a righty, Johan on the mound. Runners in the corners. Jam job off the bat of Appel will have fallen McKenzie in from center. He'll call off the second baseman Perot and make the running grab for out number 3 to close the books on the bottom of the first. But not before the Aggies played a run on an RBI double for Braden Montgomery. 1-0 here at College Station as we go to the top of the second. Ginther, Love, and due up to face Ryan Prager, who only needed 9 pitches to retire the side in the top of the first. All strikes for Prager in that frame, and he delivers a first pitch strike to start us off in the second.
Anthony DePino recently became the all-time leading home run hitter in Rhode Island baseball history.
Yeah, he is up to 32 career home runs. DePino bats from the right side, rolls over that one, and quickly 0-2.
That's 11 straight strikes to start the game from Ryan Prager.
And we had Evan Oshibek had 15?
16 in the game
Wagner.
that we did, and he had 17 the other night, according to the announcers on the Longhorn Network, in that Tuesday game against Texas.
We can trust Swindle and Keith Moreland with that. Prager dominating the zone so far in this one. The line the 0-2. Chopped foul. Pino stays alive. He's at 323 on the year. The junior out of Madison, Connecticut gets to start at third base tonight for the Rams. 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. He hit those 2 home runs during the series over the weekend out at Washington State. Pitch got him swinging. Another off-speed pitch that DePino chases. 3rd strikeout of the night for Ryan Prager.
That looked like the slider that just had some good depth to it. We'll see it here in the booth on the replay. Yeah, that's the slider. So that one's going to take a little bit of a tighter glove side turn for Prager toward a right-handed hitter, and we've also seen that split change that will fade away. So it seems like he's got a good feel for all of his pitches early on.
Another first pitch strike. That's 5 in a row.
And has not thrown a ball yet.
Ginther on the year, 313, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Prager delivers a pitch. Here comes a grounder to Ali Camarillo, and it scoots underneath the glove of Ali. So the Rams get their first base runner aboard in the form of Eric Ginther. So 1 out, 1 on for Rhode Island. We'll bring up Brody Lovin. See how they score. Ali coming in. I think that's a play Ali's going to say he wants to have, though.
Yeah, he wasn't aggressive enough, I thought, with his last step to run his glove through that short hop. Kind of took the gas pedal, took off the gas pedal and was unable to just kind of run through it like he normally would want to.
So it will be an E6 charge to Camarillo. First pitch to Lovin fouled off. So 16 straight strikes now from Prager to open up this ball game. Lovin on the year, 143, no home runs, 2 RBIs. Ginther at first after reaching on that E6. There's another one, 0-2.
for infielders, and especially those that are as gifted as Ali, you can watch him take ground balls and say, man, he's got amazing hands. But one of the reasons why he's got amazing hands is because his feet work so well. He gets himself in good hops. Unfortunately, unable to on that last ground ball.
0-2 slider, got him swinging. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Another strikeout on 3 pitches for Ryan Prager. He's got 4 so far in this one.
I don't think I've ever seen a pitcher start a game with 18 straight strikes.
In fact, Bronny, all of his strikeouts have been on 0-2 counts. He hasn't even wasted a pitch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he hasn't thrown a ball the entire game.
That is impressive as it gets to start a ball game. So here's Jack Hopko, the DH. Just missed outside. Good location, 1-0 to Hopko. So 18 straight strikes from Prager to start us off. Works with 2 outs. And the 7-hole hitting Jack Hopko. Swing and a miss, big cut. Count now 1-1.
Middle heater, and he got a swing through. That should tell you, give you a glimpse at what kind of analytics that fastball has on it for these guys to be swinging through a 90-mile-an-hour heater in the middle of the plate.
Prager set of the belt. Peeks at first, delivers the 1-1. Got it again on the corner. Fastball at 89, count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And what I mean by that, it's spin rate, how fast the ball is spinning, but also for Ryan Prager being a 6'2", 6'3" guy, his release point is at 6'8".
Creates a lot of deception on that delivery. Long look at first, down the pitch, 1-2, just missed inside, 2-2. Not a bad spot on the 1-2 count.
It was in. Crowded Olsen Field at Bluebell Park wanted it, but it did miss.
Two. Got it. Looking, 5th punch out of the night for Ryan Prager through 2. The sophomore from Dallas is pumping strikes. The Aggies lead 1-0 as Prager paints another fastball in the outside corner to close the books on the top of the 2nd. The Aggies will have, and Ryan Bronger here with you on Friday night, series opener between the Aggies and the Rams. And it will be Hank Barr to lead it off for A&M to start the bottom of the 2nd. And the senior DH takes a ball upstairs, 1-0. Hank back in the starting lineup. Average still at 400. Johan works a fastball in that Bard chops foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hank been a little bit of a revelation here early on, taking the advantage of his opportunities. Big 3-run double in that Sunday game against Arizona State, and it was really productive in the fall as well. So good to see the senior getting some run out here.
1-1, called a strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes down to the Aggie DH. Bard hit .450 in the fall. Had his first home run of the year on the opening day pitch hit appearance. Hit a grand slam to deep right field. Hooked it around the foul pole. So 1 home run, 7 RBIs for the senior out of Parker, Colorado. And the line of the 1-2 from Johan. Slider way outside for ball 2. See if the bottom of the Aggie order can get it going. A&M leads 1-0. Thanks to a Brady Montgomery RBI double in the first. 2-2. Bard gets a piece of that, stays alive.
So he's throwing, it looks like a little short cutter in that 84 to 86, 87 mile an hour range. And then he'll also have a little bit bigger slider that will play off of that. It's pretty good stuff. I'd be interested to follow this kid throughout the year. We don't know much about Rhode Island coming in, but he's a big physical kid, and it looks like the stuff early on is pretty good.
2-2, Hank pops that one foul, stays alive. Yeah, he's got a fastball, like you mentioned, Bronny. He's been around 90, 92, 93 tonight, and mixing in that cutter slider combo, especially to lefties. I've seen that cutter a couple times.
Jace got a good changeup, and is it bad?
He's mixed his stuff well. 3rd start of the year for Johan. Like we said earlier, was really a 2-way player as a freshman. 2-2, that one misses outside. Count now full as Bard's running.
And I say kind of keep an eye on him because obviously he started out and had a couple of rough outings, but you know, how many live hitters has he seen compared to Ryan Prager in the preseason buildup? So maybe as he gets lathered up and it finally starts warming up in the Northeast.
3-2, Hank chased that one out of the zone, fouls it off of the screen.
Maybe as the weather starts warming up, he kind of starts lathering himself up and, you know, the stuff keeps improving. But certainly just from a physical nature and stuff nature, it's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, it's played well so far. Base is clear, no outs here in the bottom of the second. And the line of the payoff. Ground ball off the bat of Bard. Second baseman Perron's got to go to his right, throw on the run, jump throw, and gets Hank Bard. Athletic play by the second baseman DJ Perron for the first out here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, little Jetarian as Derek Jeter make that jump throw play famous, but thought it once it got by Grote Johann, it may have a chance to sneak through, but good angle there at second base, and then the athletic throw, as you mentioned, Tyler.
It almost didn't even need it. Got barred by about 4 steps, but nice play by Perron to put out number 1 on the board here in the bottom of the second, and we'll turn it over to Ali Camarillo. Ali average down to 293. So he's going to show bunt. Takes that one downstairs for a ball, 1-0. Ali, 3 for his last 29, was really the Aggies' most productive hitter in the bottom of the order through the first 2 weekends.
And he's had bad luck to go along with some frustrating at-bats. You know, the other night against TSU, he rockets a ball at the second base. It would have been a base hit, and you know, he just misses that ball there. But he's been a little bit unlucky in that recent kind of bad run for Ali. But you know when he's going right, he can be a super productive bat at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, just got underneath that one as he pops out to McKenzie in center. Quickly did it, 2 down for the Aggies, and here's Travis Chestnut, who is making his first start of the year, 3rd career start for the senior out of Pflugerville. Travis 1 for 1 on the year, but he presents a problem at the bottom of the order if he can get on. By far the Aggies' quickest player, and makes the start at second base tonight. Chestnut takes one up and in.
Another kid who had a fantastic fall, was very productive, and is a total nightmare for opposing defenses if he's able to get on first base.
Jim Schlossnagle told us in the pregame, wanted to see what Travis could do at second. As there's a called strike, count 1-1. He has primarily been a defensive replacement in center and a pinch runner for the last 2 years. But getting the start at second, the 4th Aggie through 14 games now to make it start at second. So that job continues to be open. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss at a slider, count 1-2.
That's that short cutter there. 87, he put it in a good spot. Not much that Travis could do. Well, even if he hits it, there's not much he's going to do with it. So that's a really could be a dangerous option for Grote Johann if he's able to harness it going forward through the remainder of his start.
The line of the 1-2. Travis knocks that one foul. Ran the fastball up there at 92. That fastball around 91, 92 with that cutter at 86, 87, that's a good combo for Grote Johann, especially to righties.
Yeah, going to force you to stay on the baseball. Keep your chest over home plate. Start your approach at the second baseman, and then work to the pull side from there if you need to.
1-2. There's the bigger breaking ball. Missed upstairs. Count 2-2 now. As the Rams have put on a little bit of a shift for Chestnut. Shortstop Maroney slid around in really the 6 hole. Second baseman Perron just off the second base bag. Big hole on the right side for Chestnut if he can shoot one that way. 2-2. And that's off the plate, 3-2.
Yeah, similar shift, not as aggressive as what they played with Camarillo. And we saw Ali show bunt. And I don't know that he was going to try to bunt that to third, Tyler, because the way they had him shifted, he was probably going to try to bunt that at the second base area.
Try to push it past the pitcher. Count full to Chestnut. Here's the payoff. Line drive through the left side. There's a base hit for Travis Chestnut. Big turn from Travis as he hits first. He's going to second. He's going to try to get there head first. Slide, not in time. The throw was on the money, and Travis just got the hand underneath the tag. And that'll be a double for Chestnut. A runner aboard in score position with 2 outs.
It is fun to watch him run the bases. He was cooking around the bag at first, and I think he beat it. And we're far away from the play, but you love that. With 2 outs, you do a lot more for the ball club being on second base than you do on first base. So you always want to push long singles, 2B doubles with 2 outs. And with Travis's speed, just about anything he hits the outfield, he's got a threat to wind up on second. That was fantastic base running.
For most guys, that's just a routine single. But for Travis Chestnut, he legs out a double, and there's a slider to Grahovic as Gavin digs in. That's the kind of pressure Travis can put on an outfield. Hard hit ground ball through the left side. Levin got there in plenty of time. They made a good throw. One hop basically right to the bag. And Chestnut's hand just beats the tag. That's our Mas Fajitas hustle play of the game. Mas Fajitas, official partner of Texas A&M Athletics. The 0-1 line drive. Fair down the left field line off the glove of the third baseman. Chestnut's going to score with ease. Grahovic's going to go to second, and it's an RBI double for the freshman, 2-0 Texas A&M.
Ball was sizzled, 107 miles an hour off the bat. Back-to-back two-out doubles for the Aggies, and that's why you push it with 2 outs by Travis Chestnut, because once that ball hit off of the third baseman's glove, it kicked down the left field line and bounced off that side wall very kindly for the left fielder. So if Travis would have started on first base, Tyler, that's probably not a run. So that is an RBI double because of Travis Chestnut's hustle, the hitter before.
So back-to-back hustle plays and put A&M up 2-0. An RBI double now from Gavin Grahovic, and here's Jace Laviolette. A&M still in business. Here's a play with 2 outs in the bottom of the second for Grahovic, RBI number 13. That's his 4th double of the year, tied for the team lead now with Hayden Schott.
And that ball was absolutely cooked.
What do we say when it was off the bat, 107?
107.
That is cooked. The third baseman, Tapino, got a glove on it, as that one's outside of Laviolette.
It was almost by him before he could do anything with it. It was all he could do just to get some leather on it.
In fact, it tipped just the webbing of the glove and landed about 15 feet past him in foul territory. That's how hot it came off the bat. 2-0 count to Laviolette. See how the Rams play it, but you got Braden Montgomery on deck. Jace gets a pitch. He hits it a mile high. The catcher, Butler, going to throw the mask off, going to come back towards the wall. Then it got to play and land in the club at Bluebell Park.
Jace hits some rainmakers. And sometimes they go straight up the elevator shaft, and the other times they land somewhere out there in right field towards that train track.
It was the definition of straight up the chute right there. Just got out of play. So Jace now up in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike as Johan's thrown 45 pitches now through an inning and 2/3. See if the Aggies can tack on another run here after back-to-back doubles from Chestnut and Grahovic. Good lead for Gavin at second. Grohonyan set at the belt and delivers a called strike, 2-2.
Tough pitch there. It's a good take by Jace. It's a 1-1 heater. Johan gets the call. Let's see if Johan goes back to that changeup at any point now.
Got Jace swinging the first time. 2-2. Came inside that time. Checked his swing, did Laviolette, so now the count's full.
Good job. Good job by Jace. That's that little short cutter. Kind of threw it toward his back foot, trying to get that swing over the top.
Crowd going to come to their feet. As a 3-2 awaits Laviolette, runner at second. Aggies already up 2-0. Looking for a little more insurance early on in this one. The pitch. Backdoor slider just missed. Laviolette draws a walk. Good pitch from Johan, but Jace takes it all the way, and he's aboard for the first time tonight.
Yeah, almost in the same area as that fastball earlier that got called a strike, but because I think of the shape of the breaking ball, Johan does not get that call in the outer half.
Yeah, just bending around the plate.
Yeah, it was bent around the plate and maybe a touchdown.
So 2 aboard, first and second now for Braden Montgomery, who's already driven in 1 tonight. Doubled to the left center gap in the first inning to put A&M on the board. That's going to draw a visit from Rhode.
In the depth that they have, you don't get many hitters off, and I think that's what Johan is learning right now.
Rhode Island with the shift on the right side of the infield. Second baseman Peronin that back about 10 steps into the right field as there's a slider for a strike, 0-1.
If Braden Montgomery hits a routine ground ball to where the shortstop would normally be, depending on how hard it's hit, it could score 2 runs.
Yeah, if they could get to the gap, it could play too easy with the speed of Laviolette and Grahovic on the base pass. The 0-1 slider, Braden fouls that one off. So back-to-back breaking balls to the Aggie right fielder, and Braden quickly down 0-2.
Johan lucky there. He split the plate with a slider, and you don't get many of those baseballs back when you're throwing them to Braden Montgomery.
That is about as middle as you can get with a breaking ball, and live to fight on. Leg kick from Johan. He's going to fake the pick to second. And that's his 1 step off. As he tried to chase Grahovic back. Now to reset the pitch clock too. 0-2 count to Montgomery, who's raised that average already up to 442. 1 for 1 tonight. So See if Braden can add on another one. Here's the pitch. Wasted fastball outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up going back to that slider that he had success with early in the count here.
See if Johan goes back to the well with that breaking ball like Bronny said. It's been his best pitch. He's used that cutter to lefties too tonight. He delivers the 1-2. Fastball lifts that one foul as Montgomery stay alive. That hit back in the first. Montgomery already increased his season-long hitting streak to 6 games. He's reached in all 14 now. So has Jace Lavalette after that walk a moment ago. Aggies are going to be pretty successful. Their 2- and 3-hole hitters continue to get aboard for this potent lineup. On look in from Johan. Piers at second, now comes to the plate. And Braden knocks down with foul to stay alive.
Good spoil there. Fastball in the upper inner quadrant of the zone.
The Aggies, too, Bronny, have already pushed Johan's pitch count up to 53.
I mean, that's what Jim
what this team
Schlossnagle's
does.
clubs have done since he's gotten here. That's a huge credit to Michael Early and his preparation of understanding the strike zone.
They have grinded through at bats tonight. 1-2, blocked by the catcher Butler. Count even 2-2. This is an Aggie team that already has 108 walks on the year, which is 3rd in the country. It's after A&M was top 5 in the nation a year ago in walks. It is that patient approach at the plate. This is a team not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. 2-2. Comes inside. And Montgomery dances out of the way of that one. Now it's full. Runners will be off for the next pitch.
And guess what also happens, Tyler, when you hit with 2 strikes? Sometimes you're going to strike out as well. But it's all kind of within the framework of the offense.
Yep. Shift still employed by the Rams. The 3-2 runners go. Backdoor slider missed again, and it's another walk. Bases are loaded. Back-to-back free passes from Connor Johan have loaded them up. And here's Hayden Schott. Let's see what the Rams do. No action in the bullpen yet. As Johan up to 56 pitches. Bases loaded now for the Aggie left fielder.
Full count slider there to Braden. Not as close as the one that he threw to Jace, the hitter before. But again, Tyler, it's just this offense. First 2 hitters get out, and you end up throwing 25 more pitches after that.
Here's another way outside. Stabbed at by the catcher Butler, and the count's 1-0.
I can't imagine this being an ideal scenario just in terms of pitch count for the Rhode Island staff.
No, it has climbed quickly. As the Aggies have loaded it up with 2 outs. Now it comes inside this time. Brushes shot off the plate. It's 2-0.
The first time tonight, you're starting to see a little bit of frustration in Johan's body language. 2 big misses there to Schott. He has missed in this inning, but he's been around the zone. Those were 2 big misses.
Yeah, one first pitch way outside. That next pitch way inside. Grahovic at third. Lavalette at second. Montgomery at first. Here's the pitch. Ground ball off the bat. A shot just foul down the first base line as Anderson, the first baseman, stabbed at it. But it was foul off the bat, a shot. So now it's 2-1 to the A&M left fielder, who, if he hits a routine ground ball, Bronny to short, the Aggies can play 2 with ease, and maybe a third if it could split the gap. As Rhode Island's got the shift on again for the grad transfer out of Columbia, who bats here with a 2-1 count. A&M up 2-0. Pitch. Bloop job off the bat, a shot. That's going to fall. Grahovic's in. Lavalette will score, and it's 4-0 Aggies on an RBI single off the bat, a Hayden Schott. Hayden took it where it was pitched, blooped it in, and with the left fielder Levin way deep in left field, it's a 2 RBI single, and it's 4-0 Texas A&M.
Yeah, hitters get hit. 67 on that exit velo, but it doesn't matter. It goes down as a rocket line drive for a pair of RBIs the other way for Hayden Schott, and he's not going to complain about it because at some point this year, Hayden's going to hit a 109-mile-an-hour missile at somebody and get caught. So the game will even itself out, but like I said earlier in his first at bat, he's just got such good hitter qualities that he tends to not hit balls hard and still find green grass. Jack Moss had some of that.
Yeah, that was a very Jack Moss-like hit. That's our Wells Fargo between the base paths moments. Wells Fargo, the official bank of Texas A&M athletics, his shot racks up RBI number 9 and 10 to push A&M up 4-0, and it'll give Ted Burton a chance to hit here with 2 outs. Montgomery now at second and Schott at first, and Ted down the count 0-1.
It's going to be important for Hayden to drive in runs with as careful as people are going to be to Jason Braden ahead of him.
Line drive off the bat of Burton, back up the middle. Montgomery gets the wave around. He's coming home, and it'll be an RBI single off the bat of Teddy Burton. 5-0 Aggies. 3 big hits in this inning, all with 2 outs, and A&M's put a 4 spot on the board with a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the second.
I believe that's the 4th 2-out hit now, Tyler.
Yeah, you're right.
Doubles and then 2 singles. Very nice piece of hitting by Teddy Burton. Stays over the baseball. Rockets one back up the box at 103 miles per hour, and the Aggie offense starting to flex, starting to say, look, it doesn't just have to be the long ball for us.
Now we're starting to see a little action in that Rhode Island bullpen, too, as Connor Grode-Johan has issued 5 runs on 5 hits so far in an inning and 2/3. He's not out of it yet as Jackson Appel digs in and takes a ball downstairs, 1-0. Jackson on the night 0 for 1. Flew out to center to close the books on the first.
I wonder if Ryan Prager's in the dugout going, okay, y'all have scored enough now. I want to go back out there and start throwing again.
1-0. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, if you're Prager, you don't want to sit over there too long as he's worked a clean 2 innings so far. Only 1 base runner for Rhode Island. That came on an E6 back in the second. A chance for Jackson Appel right here. The Aggie catcher hitting .385 on the year. There's a breaking ball that just missed.
Yeah, just missed down. I like this plan for Jackson Appel. Swung at the first pitch in his last at bat for the fly out, and really probably chased a fastball he didn't really want to swing at. It's a good lesson. Just because you can hit it doesn't mean you should hit it.
Shot at second. Burton at first. There's a called strike. So count even 2-2 now to the senior out of Houston, who has been one of the better bats over the last week for the Aggies, who have basically played 6 games in 7 days. It's been a tough stretch. The Aggies have marched through them with wins in all of them. And out to a good start in this one, up 5-0. Line drive off the bat of Jackson Appel, but right at the shortstop, Reese Maroney, who gloves that one to close the books on the bottom of the second. But out before A&M puts up 4 runs on 4 2-out hits.
After that long sitting in the dugout.
Face Rob Butler, who shows bunt. Just like that, Brawny put it in play. There's a first pitch strike.
That is never a bunt when they show that early.
No, sir. That's the old hypnotize the pitcher bunt attempt, and rarely does it work. 0-1, another called strike. So far, Brawny, the thing I've been impressed with the most with Prager maybe is tempo.
Yeah, and he'll play with it, right? Sometimes he'll get ahead 0-2 and just, like we're seeing right here, just sit and hold.
The wind of the pitch. Butler spoils that one foul. We've seen the Aggie pitching staff do that under Max Weiner. Anytime you get an 0-2 count, 1-2 count, and pitching staff likes to just hold and pause just for a little bit longer. And it definitely has played tricks on hitters so far this season. Outfield plays Butler slightly to right center, big gap.
He's doing it again. In
the left center gap. Yeah, he's going to pause again as Prager lets that pitch clock wind down. And the wind of the pitch. Swing and a miss. Carved him up.
That's so good, man. And again, people they wonder, Tyler, how does he get so much swing and miss on the heater at 90 to 93 miles an hour? But it's that elevated release height, kind of a crossfire action. You know, he's starting to remind a lot of A&M fans, and I actually got a text about this earlier. It looks a little Andy Pettit-ish.
If you mixed in a cutter, it would look very Andy Pettit-ish. There's a big swing and a miss from Brody McKenzie, the 9-hole hitter, center fielder for Rhode Island, who is batting 182 in the year. What do you mean crossfire, Brawny? Explain that to the fans who are watching us on the broadcast. That's kind of, we don't want to call it thrown across the body. There's one downstairs, but Prager really is able to use his arm slide and then how he comes across in his delivery to create a lot of deception.
Yeah, it used to be, 10, 20 years ago, everybody thought that was bad, but the more we've understood biomechanics of pitching, it's really not that bad for you. So what I'm saying is that Prager kind of steps in his windup and his delivery. That right foot lands kind of moving toward the left-handed batter's box, and then he rotates across that point with his arm. It's not any, Justin Lampkin does it a little bit more exaggerated.
The 1-2. Got him swinging. Another breaking ball falls off the table. 7th strikeout for Ryan Prager tonight as he's worked through this Rhode Island order one time through. It'll be the top of the order. Reese Maroney to hit here with 2 outs in the third.
I'll be interested to ask Prager if he has some different grips, maybe he has some different thumb placements for his slider, because you'll get some of them that are very horizontal, more like a sweeper.
Yep.
And then you'll get that last one where it's got more vertical depth to it, and it gets swings and misses on the bottom part of the zone.
Maroney shows bunt, takes a called strike, 0-1.
But he is putting on a master class in throwing the ball over the plate right now, Tyler.
So far, 29 strikes on 32 pitches for Ryan Prager as he works the 0-1. Big cut, swing and a miss, another breaking ball. That was that more kind of sweeper type breaking ball that you were talking about, Bronny, as he's worked ahead 0-2.
And it's not like he's doing, like this command is not all with one pitch. We've seen the full arsenal.
Yeah, we've seen slider, we've seen changeup, we've seen fastball elevated and located well as Maroney punches that one foul over the berm down the first baseline. This is maybe the most complete we've seen Ryan Prager all year, and that's saying a lot for a guy who's now thrown 18 scoreless. As he works here with 2 outs in the third. Freshman Reese Maroney at the plate, who's 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout. 0-2, ground ball. It's going to scoop through the right side for the first base hit of the inning for the Rams. Good piece of hitting by Maroney. Just punched it through the right side.
Good point, Tyler. Very good piece of hitting. 2 strike. Got that slider down and away and didn't try to do too much with it. Stays on it, shoots it through the right side.
Yeah, slider that caught a lot of the plate. Down and in, Maroney just shoots it through. So the leadoff hitting Maroney aboard. Here's DJ Perrin with 2 outs. Grad student out of Swansea, Massachusetts. The pitch called strike, 0-1 from Prager, who I believe Bronny has gotten ahead of all 11 hitters. That's the way my scorebook reads, and it's pretty easy to do that when you've only thrown 3 balls tonight.
That's an insane percentage.
Stretching the pitch just upstairs for a ball, 1-1 now.
You don't do that in bullpens.
No, you can't replicate that in a bullpen even if you tried. I mean, that's just intense concentration and location so far from Prager. Takes a long look at first with Maroney aboard. He'll pick it over. Maroney back in with the head first slide.
I think we'll see Jim Schlossnagle and company play and call the game, not the scoreboard tonight, because you've got to get yourself ready for SEC play next week. Yeah, we got more snacks.
Didn't even have to make a phone call or a text as Prager delivers another pickoff throw to Maroney. Looks like we've got a little catfish, hush puppies.
Seafood basket.
Basket.
Oh, yeah. Those look like they're going to be a little hot.
We're going to let that cool off for the bottom of the third. Wish I had our center field camera that could get us a shot of that. That may be the best shot of the night. Perrin back in the box. Takes a slider and lifts it to right center. Lavalette and Montgomery coming over, but Jason's going to track over and make the running grab for out number 3. So the Rams get their first hit of the night off the bat. Started off the bottom of the second where A&M batted around. Put up 4 runs in that frame, and Hank Bard digs in from the left side as he'll face Connor RhodeIsland for the second time, and that's a check swing foul ball off the bat of the Aggie DH.
Story of the night so far, I know it was a really fun 2-out rally for the Aggies offensively in the bottom half of the second, but story of the night, as it has been for much of this season, Tyler, is dominating the zone by Aggie pitchers.
Yeah, Ryan Prager, 38 pitches, and this one 34 strikes. That is over 90% in terms of counting strikes up, as that's one's outside the Bard, 1 ball, 1 strike. A&M with a RBI double from Braden Montgomery in the first to get on the board, then tacked on 4 more in the second, like Bronny mentioned, all with 2 outs. Johan works from the line to the 1-1. Another one outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Nice crowd tonight.
It filled in late, kind of late arriving. It's spring break time now. For us that are natives of Bryan College Station, traffic will ease up a little bit this week.
Saw some members of the Aggie football coaching staff in attendance.
Yeah, good crowd from the football staff who's hanging around in town. As that's a high fly ball off the bat of Bard in a shallow center. McKenzie going to come all the way in from the deep part of center field to track that one out for out number 1.
The wind has totally subsided as well.
Yeah, it died down in that second. So now, be a pretty even ballpark because we play here in the third. Beautiful night, 74 degrees. The wind was at about 10 miles per hour out of the north when we started. The flags are still in center field.
It'll be pretty gusty tomorrow, I believe, Greg.
That's what they tell me. Bring your long sleeves tomorrow. I think it's in the 60s, but that wind's going to be howling in the morning.
Ali showed bunt last at bat. Rhode Island playing him the same way.
The third baseman DePino, even with the bag, as Ali knocks that one foul. Land in foul territory on the berm.
It's tough to defend yourself on the berm sitting down and then having to stand up to try to catch a ball on an inclined slope.
You've got to be a pretty good athlete to get up on an inclined slope and try to make a foul ball catch that's hooking towards you.
Yeah, well, that one, like Ali just hit, you've got a little bit of time to make a decision. But, you know, if Jace Lavalette spins on a ball over there and rifles it that way, it's duck and cover.
It's head on a swivel territory. 0-1 to Ali. Slider sends that one foul. Camarillo quickly down on the count, 0-2. The junior out of Chula Vista, 1 home run, 4 RBIs on the year for Ali. Average at 286. This could be a good weekend to get him going. Has had a really strong start to the year through the first 2 weekends. Hasn't really, I wouldn't call it scuffled, but just has kind of hit into some bad luck over the last 5 games. It's in the 8th hole tonight with Travis Chestnut on deck. As the Rams employ the shift for Ali to pull to the left side in the 0-2 from Groyohan. Slider, and Ali went around on the swing. Second strikeout of the night for Connor Groyohan.
Yeah, he's a tough spot. Baseball's not easy. Ali's going to keep getting run-outs and keep getting opportunities, but sometimes, Tyler, all it takes is a little bit of sunshine to break the ice, right? You just need hit an end of the bat, duck forward over the second baseman's head, Texas leaguer, have a dribbler, find the right hole, just to see the ball fall and get some good feeling and good mojo going again.
That may have been Groyohan's best sliders. We saw that replay, a ton of break. Got Ali on the check swing and couldn't hang up, and here's a first pitch strike to Travis Chestnut as Groyohan over the 75 pitch mark. Travis got that 2-out rally going back in the second with a double down the left field line, which for everybody else in the ballpark is probably an easy single. But Travis used his speed and wheeled and dealed all the way to second base. That's what set the stage for that rally. There's another off-speed pitch outside from Groyohan, counting up 1-1 to the native out of Pflugerville, who is still hitting a perfect 1,000 on the year, 2 for 2. Base is clear, 2 outs. The Aggies lead this one 5-0 here in the third. Travis takes that one all the way, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, one thing with Travis being an elder statesman on the team and a senior, when he gets this opportunity, because he's seen so much baseball, he doesn't feel the urge to probably, I have to get it done right here. He's just seen it and done it so much. He understands the ups and downs of a season and his role on the team.
Shows bunt there, takes it back, now count 3-1.
He obviously understands what kind of player he is. We just saw him show bunt. We saw the hustle double earlier. He brings a lot to the table, whether he's a starter or coming off the bench and playing center field or second base. He's an important piece of this roster.
He can impact a game in so many ways. He waits the 3-1, called strike. Travis going to come back. Count now full.
Good take. Ball could have gone either way.
Might have just caught the black as Groyohan got that fastball over at 88. Now he works a full count. So Travis Chestnut with Gavin Grohovac on deck. The line of the payoff. Downstairs for a ball. Nice take from Chestnut. And Travis coaxes a 2-out walk. And let's see what Nolan Kane and Jim Schlossnagle decide to do here with the speedy Travis Chestnut aboard for Gavin Grohovac.
I can't imagine he'll stay over there very long. That's a great 2-out at bat.
And a really good take right here, Bronning, because it's a fastball that looked good out of the hand and just kind of sunk down below the knee. Good pitch to try to get Travis a chase, but he took it all the way.
And you can get antsy after the 3-1 pitch which was borderline gets called a strike, and you can want to expand. But, we talked about earlier in the game, just an awareness of the strike zone. They continue to demonstrate that day in, day out, whether they're getting a bunch of hits, scoring a bunch of runs, or having offensive struggles. They tend to have really quality at-bats throughout the course of a game.
Fourth walk of the night for the Aggies. It's up to 112 on the year through 14 games. Like Bronny said, A&M been patient tonight. As Chestnut off with a pitch. Pitch up and into Grahovic. Head first slide from Chestnut, and he makes it with ease. Third stolen base of the year from Travis Chestnut. Now the Aggies got a runner in scoring position with 2 down.
It's almost like if he even gets a B- or better jump, just put the ball in your pocket. His ability to get to top speed in such a short period of time is remarkable. Jim Schlossnagle said whenever they signed him out of Temple College, he's got a chance to be the fastest base runner he's ever coached in his career as a head coach.
Slider called a strike, and even with 2 outs, he's a threat to steal third. I'm not a big fan of making the third out at third, but like you said, Bronny, I don't know if I've ever seen a guy like Travis Chestnut who basically is a one-turn and gets to top speed so quickly. As there's a pick back to second as Johan throws to the covering shortstop Reese Maroney, but Travis dives back in.
Yeah, I've got no idea who would win in a race between he and Jace over 60 yards.
Yeah.
But in 30 yards, I don't know that I've ever seen a player wearing maroon and white that was as fast between the bases as Travis Chestnut. And Cray Bratson and Jason Tyner are legendary because of their speed.
2-1 misses down and into Grahovac, and Gavin ahead 3-1.
And Travis Chestnut would be in that conversation without question.
Travis and Jace would be an interesting race because it would kind of be like a Ferrari and like an F-150 going at the same time.
Is Jace the F-150?
He might be an F-250 some days. When you're 6'6" and 230, is that one skips past the second base bag and enter center field. Chestnut's going to take third, and Travis now 90 feet away, and that pressure with the speed of Chestnut bites the Rams as that pickoff throw from Johan skips into center.
Yeah, he just causes problems. It's uncanny when you come out here to these fall games and you watch him get on the bases, or if he hits a ground ball, and just he forces people to play at a higher speed, and a bobble here or a missed throw there, and before you know it, he's crossing the plate.
3-1, high fly ball off the bat of Grahovac. Watch out, scoreboard, it's gone. 2-run home run off the bat of Grahovac, and the Aggies lead this one 7-0. Adios baseball, that got out of here in a hurry.
106 miles an hour, 400 feet from the super talented freshman out of Orange, California, his third of what should be an illustrious Aggie career.
That ball got out of here in the hurry, even with no wind. Grahovic deposits one over the wall in left center off the scoreboard, and A&M's jumped out to a 7-0 lead. And now Rhode Island, their head coach Rafael Serrato out to talk to Connor Johan, who has tried to keep this one within reach, but Gavin got all of that one as he got a fastball middle in, Bronny, and just tattooed it to the left center gap.
And he knew it when he hit it, didn't he? This kid is super strong. And you look at him play and you watch him just his day-to-day, how he handles his business, watch him take ground balls, watch him play catch, all the stuff just looks like a future big leaguer.
Ball was 2 hits tonight, Bronny, for Grahovic, 106 on the home run, 107 off the line drive and turn to exit velo. As that's going to do it for Connor Johan, as Rhode Island's going to make the call to the bullpen for the first time tonight. It'll be Brandon Zhu on the mound for the Rams when we return. We'll give you his number for the sophomore center fielder who's 0 for 1 tonight. And there's a called strike from Zhu at 88, the 5'9", a righty on the year, making his 4th appearance out of the pen, 0-1 with a 34.71 ERA, has worked 2/3 of an innings. And opponents are hitting .688 against Brandon Zhu. The 0-1 chop foul, and that's actually
a legal
pitch. As our third base umpire Hank Himonen made that call as Zhu immediately delivered the ball to the plate, so it should be a 1-1 count.
Did he disengage with the rubber maybe during his delivery? That's
my guess, Bronny, is immediately when he went to his line and his right foot turned, Hank Hemmen had made the call of an illegal pitch, and I wonder if Shue disengaged from his foot. That's where he just pointed to his right foot, saying he disengaged the mound. So count should be now 1-1.
Was the old reliever, I believe he was with the Marlins and maybe the Nationals for a little bit, Matt Capps.
Yeah.
Who would jump down the mound, and they had to institute the rule that you had to remain in contact with the rubber through your move forward.
Yep. So Hank Hemmen now and our home plate umpire Brandon Cooper having a conversation.
Get a replay of it here.
Yeah,
they
hard
called
to
it pretty early. The third base umpire definitely saw it when it happened, whatever the infraction was. So it will be a 1-1 count now to Jace.
Take that foul ball off the board. 1-1 count to Shue. Or from Shue now to Jace Laviolette. Here's the pitch, slider down and in, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, one of the things that Jace has gotten so much better at is even when he's not lighting the world on fire, his at-bats have gotten so much more patient, and he's done such a good job of understanding his strike zone and not chasing the slider down and in they try to get him to swing over the top of so often.
That one misses outside to Jace, 3 balls and 1 strike. And how many times last year, Bronny, when we see him in a 2-1 count and try to take a hack at that pitch up and away? That's one thing he has cut down a ton on his swing and misses so far this year.
I go back to what he told me before the season started. He thought his season would be defined by the pitches he didn't swing at.
Head 3-1. Bases clear, 2 down. And Jace got a hold of that one, but knocked it foul as Shue came inside with a fastball and got away with that one, counting down full.
I thought that swing right there, Tyler, was the most together Jace's swing has looked in the last probably 7 to 10 days. He looked really connected there.
See what he gets here. Bases clear. Rhode Island employs the shift, 3-2. Jace takes it all the way. Good take from Laviolette on a pitch up in the zone, and Jace aboard for the second time tonight via a base on balls, and he'll turn it over to Braden Montgomery.
And it would seem that the Rhode Island coaching staff saw the same thing I did. Really connected 3-1 swing, and you're playing with fire there with Jace, so they go full count changeup.
Now it'll be Braden Montgomery's turn with 2 outs. Braden, so far 1 for 1 tonight, had the RBI double back in the first, walked and scored in the second as the Aggies have jumped out to a 7-run lead. Now Laviolette at first. Braden behind on that one, knocks it foul. Count 0-1 to the Aggie right fielder.
You know, the Rams have shifted just about every A&M hitter tonight, and the shift hasn't hurt them. It's been the Aggies hitting it through it, around it, over it. So we don't know if these scouting reports are valid just yet because no Aggie has hit into it, and it's been an effective strategy by the Rams.
Second baseman Perrone almost in shallow right field as here's the 0-1 to Montgomery. Takes a fastball outside.
It's crazy to me, though, Tyler, that people shift Braden Montgomery.
Yeah, if you've watched him the last week, this is a guy who has split the gap multiple times with extra base hits. I mean, his home run Tuesday night in Texas was an absolute just missile about 20 feet off the ground. His home run last Friday against Arizona State at Globe Life was an upper deck shot, basically. It went 455 feet.
That was the Sunday homer.
The Sunday homer, and you're right, yep. Slider that Braden gets is going to be the shortstop. Maroney over at second
Curse
base.
of the commentator there, hitting into the shift.
Bronny said they couldn't hit in the shift. Braden rolls into that, but as Maroney fires across 6-3 to win as well. So can't beat that as the Aggies have jumped out to a 7-0 lead. Ryan Prager back to work. And delivers a first pitch swing and strike to Michael Anderson, 3-hole hitter. First baseman for the Rams who flew out to center back in the first. So far per Prager, he has extended that scoreless streak to 19 2/3 to start the season.
What is the school record?
You know, I have our SID wizard Kyle Stafford on that one. I got the research department on that one. Because that one's outside 1-1. Kyle told me earlier Ryan is one of 9 pitchers to start the year through 4, basically now going into this 4th start, working him scoreless. That's pretty good. Tonight, not allowed to run.
When you think about the names that have towed the rubber here in an A&M uniform.
And especially in the last 15 years. Think about all the guys who have trotted out to that mound and what he's done. He's worked ahead 1-2. That one's knocked foul as Anderson stayed alive. Now, the first thought I was like, I wonder what like a guy like Asa Lacy, what was his longest scoreless streak that he ever went through?
Asa was just dominant stuff, and that that team that the COVID ended that season with he and Christian Roa at the front of that rotation. That team would have been a problem in a postseason regional tournament, super regional.
That 1-2 punch. And Roa was a guy I thought of too. Just guys who could really put up scoreless streaks as Prager takes a long look in the line of the 1-2. Got him up and in, swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Ryan Prager. That's his 8th tonight.
He is just suffocating these Rhode Island hitters. It is full command of every pitch in his arsenal, Tyler, to every quadrant of the strike zone. We've seen him miss. We've seen him bust guys in from the right-handed side. We've seen him use that changeup away to righties. A lot of sliders, different look sliders. Just sensational tonight for the redshirt sophomore from Dallas.
Starts Anthony DePino with a strike, got the breaking ball over. Bronny, what I'd like to see maybe post-game is almost like a heat chart of where his strikeout locations have been, because I feel like half of them have been up in the zone. The other half, he's worked downstairs to a lot of guys to get him swinging. The 0-1 now was upstairs to DePino, count even 1 ball, 1 strike. In fact, for Prager, 7 of his 8 Ks are swinging. He's only ring up one guy looking.
That was this 45th pitch of the night, Tyler, and the first time we've seen any kind of ball get away from him.
He comes back there with a slider for a strike. Now up to 46 pitches, 41 have been strikes.
That is unheard of.
I don't know if you could do that in a video game, to be honest. As Prager winds in the 1-2, and DePino fouls that one off back to the screen. I don't know if sophomore out of Dallas has broken a sweat tonight. As he's in his 4th start, Prager already up to 35 strikeouts in the year and has improved that strikeout to walk ratio to 35-3 now. So he works with the bases clear, 1-2, foul ball back our way.
I just wonder if the people in the stands and in the ballpark realize what they're watching here. I'm a baseball nerd, so I eat this stuff up. But for the casual fan, do they realize that what they're witnessing now, they may not ever see again in terms of strike percentage through 48 pitches?
Especially with how many strikes that Prager started off tonight. There's a ground ball off the bat of DePino. Grahovic going to come in. Gavin throws across, and Burton makes the grab for out number 2. That's the first ground ball out of the night for the Aggie defense through 3 2/3. In fact, that is only the 3rd ball that the Rams have even put in play. That's how good Ryan Prager's stuff has been. It'll bring up Eric Ginther now with 2 outs. Ginther reached on an E6 back in the 2nd. Takes one downstairs for a ball, 1-0.
Is that the first 1-0 count of the night?
Second. Yeah, Prager has only gone to a 2-ball count 1 time. That goes back to Jacob Hopko, who awaits on deck back in the 2nd. There's a dribbler foul off the bat of Ginther.
So do you have the strike percentage still up? So that was through 50 pitches. That was his 51st pitch of the night.
Let me do my Troy University math here. So
I can help with my McNeese State.
44 strikes through 50 pitches. That would be 88%. I made a C in calculus for a reason, Bronny. There's one downstairs, so count now 2-1 to Ginther, who's at 143 on the year. One of the 5 returning starters for Rhode Island. In fact, it was one of their better hitters in A-10 play a year ago. Hit .307 with 4 home runs and 14 RBIs. There's a painted strike on the outer half as Prager tops out at 90 there, count 2-2.
It's fun to watch when he's in command, any pitcher, when they're locked in like Prager is tonight.
2-2, ground ball to Camarillo. Ali steps in, now going to take a step back, throws across, and another 1-2-3 frame from Ryan Prager. He's retired the last 7 he's faced.
Like I said earlier, it's kind of going to have to be necessary as they navigate through the rigors of SEC play, because teams are going to be careful with Jace and Braden. And I would imagine there are a lot of coaches across the league who are going to be able to live with guys like Hayden Schott, Teddy Burton, or Jackson Appel beating them.
And these guys are experienced hitters, too, between Schott, Burton, and Appel. That's our 44 Farms meet of the order. 44 Farms invites you to enjoy premium all-natural Angus beef by visiting 44steaks.com. 44 Farms, the official beef of Texas A&M Athletics. Shot digs in, now count 1-1. Hayden tonight had a 2 RBI single back in the second, 1 for 2. He's got that average over 300 now at 306. As Brandon Shue works his first full inning of relief, and Shot skies down with foul count 1-2.
You know what I think is encouraging to see tonight, Tyler, is after the Aggies kind of walked through that Wednesday night win over Texas Southern where they were able to rally late. And look, you're going to have nights at the ballpark like that. There's no denying it. But they've come out tonight, and regardless of the opposition, they've been really sharp.
Really sharp. Can't say how sharp Ryan Prager's been. That one's way outside from Shue. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And what I've been impressed with, we talked about in the last half, is the last 2 frames, A&M's gotten 2 outs on the board pretty quickly, and it has ramped up the offensive output, scoring 6 runs, all with 2 outs. That is how quick strike this offense can be at the plate. His shot, it's a ground ball to the second baseman who scoops that one. Perrone spins and throws for out number 1.
Perrone's made a pair of nice plays tonight. That wasn't too difficult, but because of the pace of the ball and the angle that he took, he had to glove it and pirouette out in shallow right field, make the toss over to first base.
It was definitely a worm burner off the bat. A shot hit hard, but Perrone spins around and makes that play. And I'll bring up Ted Burton, who singled in his last at bat up the middle. Teddy 1 for 1 today, reached twice with a walk back in the first as well. Shue's first offering delivered inside, 1 ball, no strike. For Connor Grahoyan will give you his final line. 2 2/3, allowed 7 earned, 6 hits, struck out 2, walked 4 on 85 pitches. That closes the books on the Rhode Island starter as Burton takes a called strike after showing bunt.
I like that, playing the game, Teddy. Again, I don't know. They got to get ready for SEC play, right, Tyler? So you may see them do some things that don't necessarily, the scoreboard won't reflect the actions on the field, because Coach Schloss has got to get these guys ready to go for next week in Gainesville.
That one outside, 2-1. It may be one of those things where kind of every inning, don't look at the scoreboard at 0-0. Let's go out there and play.
I mentioned that when they were on defense, and Rhode Island got a base runner that Prager started to pick, because next week you're going to have to start picking.
2-1, slider, Burton loops that one down the left field line. It's going to roll towards the wall. Lovin over there to cut it off. Burton headed towards second, and he'll go in without a throw as it's a stand-up 2-bagger off the bat of Teddy Burton. And the Aggies got a runner in score position with 1 out here in the 4th.
Good to see Teddy stay on that breaking ball. It was a pitch that gave him some problems on Tuesday night in Austin. You can tell he's probably gone down there to those covered cages in left field and spent some time on the I-pitch machine and just tracking baseballs, making sure he's staying on that slider.
4th double of the night for the Aggies. That matches their season high already. That came against Lamar back on February 27th. And it'll bring Jackson Appel to the plate, who is 0 for 2. Lefty-righty matchup as Jackson skies out, went into center. Can of McCorn to McKenzie, who makes the grab. Burton gets off second, going to track back, so a fly out to center, puts 2 outs on the board, and it'll bring up Hank Bard. Good swing from Jackson. I think he just got under it.
Yeah, he's went after the first pitch twice tonight, and you never want to completely take that out of a guy's game, but I do know that they track all that stuff, right? And they're going to be given reports weekly on what their best counts are to hit in, and this will be interesting to see if Jackson remains aggressive on that first pitch of his at-bats, or as the season goes along, does he understand that, I'm much better once I start getting into the flow of an at-bat.
Burton off with a pitch down low to Bard, and he's in safely. Good slide from Teddy Burton. Our third base umpire, Hank Himman, had to get around the tag of DePino as Burton slides in safely head first and beats the wrap. So the Aggies got a runner at third with 2 down now for Bard. Good piece of base running and a really nice slide from Ted Burton. Second stolen base of the night for the Aggies. And it gives Bard a chance to drive one in here with 2 outs. 7-0 Aggies lead on 6 hits. Shoes pitch. It's dribbled off the foot of Bard.
Interesting that Teddy went there on 2 outs and a left-handed hitter up. And again, all this stuff is predetermined. You know, the coaching staff says if you can get to X mark on the field, if your primary lead and secondary shuffles can get you to this area of the field, we know you can steal. And so Teddy probably is a seasoned guy, older guy, knew he got to that spot, so he took off.
Second stolen base of the year for Burton. Line drive off the bat of Bard. That's going to plate another. As Hank Bard shoots the gap, Burton in to score. The Aggies lead this one 8-0. Good piece of hitting by Hank Bard. Got one up in the zone. He corked that one through the right side as the senior DH drives in his 8th run of the year.
Yeah, much like Burton ahead of him, kind of sits on that slider. It was more elevated than Shoe wanted it to be, and whether there's no strikes or 2 strikes, Tyler, when a guy makes a mistake, you make him pay, and that's another 2-out run for the Aggies tonight.
A&M has absolutely put on a 2-out hitting clinic in this one. A&M 6-4-9 so far with 2 outs, and has driven in 7 runs. Shoe from the stretch now as Camarillo steps in, and Ali takes a called strike. So the last 3 innings, A&M has scored 7 runs, all with 2 outs. As Camarillo digs back in for the right side, Rhode Island got the shift on the left side of the infield. As Ali looking for his first base hit of the night, 0 for 2. And he shoots one towards the right center gap. The right fielder coming on, dives and makes the grab. Did Ginther to rob Ali of a base hit. Oh,
fantastic
man, what a
play.
Fantastic diving stop.
That to end the last half inning from Ali Camarillo. You know, his kind of tough luck continues. Baseball stinks sometimes, man. And that'll be the easiest out Prager has all night.
Just a bloop job right back to Ryan Prager as he jumps off the mound and makes the grab for out number 1. Pitcher's field in position there, and quickly one down the top of the 5th.
Rhode Island trying to jump start something with a bunt for a hit. Poorly executed and easy play for Prager.
Dropped the bat head to Brody Levin. And the old pop out to the pitcher starts us off in the 5th as there's a nice fastball in the outer half to Jack Hopko, the DH for Rhode Island, who's 0-1. Prager continuing to get ahead to Rhode Island hitters so far in this one. So he's worked 4 1/3 scoreless. There's a dribbler down the first base line, foul into the glove of Teddy Burton, but count now 0-2 on Hopko, the DH.
So Prager's threw 4 1/3 on 57 pitches. We fully anticipate, regardless of the score line, that Jim Schlossnagel and Max Weiner will leave him out there to try to get him ready for SEC play next week. So I would think he's going to go to that 80 to 90 pitch count range.
Yeah, I think that would be the goal. I bet 85 is probably the sweet spot, as that one misses up and away to Hopko. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ryan's been, I think he got up to 75 last week against Arizona State, somewhere in that range. I have to go back and check the box, but he's continued to kind of get stretched out start after start. 1-2 just off, not a bad spot. Count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. And like Bronny said, the Aggies start SEC play next weekend, going to Gainesville, where they will play Florida. So trying to get this pitching staff lengthened out as long as they can. 2-2. Got him looking, froze him on the outside half. 9th strikeout of the night for Ryan Prager.
Very well located slider to a left-handed hitter.
Just painted the outer corner. That's only the 2nd time Prager's recorded a strikeout looking tonight, but he's got 9, just 1 shy of his career high.
You know, one thing that could put, not a damper because this has been a sensational outing, but one thing that could potentially end it sooner, Tyler, is another big offensive inning. Because he's had to sit and wait in the dugout while the Aggies hit for a 4-run inning. They had a 2-run inning. A lot of it's been done with 2 outs.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see if A&M puts up another crooked number if they trot him back out there.
0-1-0-2 now with a big swing and a miss from the catcher, Rob Butler. He's down the hole 0-2. Butler struck out swinging back in the 3rd.
You'd very much prefer for him to get to his pitch count in a live game, but you can always go and let him finish in the bullpen if necessary.
Yeah, we saw that week 1 against McNeese, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with another breaking ball. 10th strikeout of the night for Ryan Prager. Error for Texas A&M. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Rhode Island Rams. And so far it has been all maroon and white in this one. Ryan Prager with 5 shutout innings. Now makes it now 21 2/3 straight innings for Prager to start this season scoreless for the sophomore out of Dallas. The Aggies so far offensively had a lot of 2-out magic. 7 runs tonight, coming with 2 outs. And they lead this one 8-0. It'll be 9-1-2. Chestnut, Grahovic, and Laviolette due up to face Brandon Shue, who's back in for the second full inning of work. And there's a slider to start off the bottom of the 5th with a strike.
And Chestnut has been the spark plug of 2 of those 2-out rally innings.
Yeah, Travis double down the left field on a hustle double in the second. Got the 2-out rally going. Then his walk in the third, followed by a stolen base. Got that 2-out rally going. He shoots one into center, but McKenzie makes the grab there, running in for out number 1. Good piece of hitting from Travis. Just hit it on the screws right at it.
100 miles an hour on the exit velo. Travis making a good account of himself in his first start of the season.
Yeah, he is one of now 4 Aggies to start at second base between Travis, Jack Bell, Caden Kent, Ryan Targoch. The Aggies are trying to kind of find the guy to pencil in the lineup at second base. And Jim Schlossnagle said pregame, let's give him a shot. So far it's worked. 1 for 2 tonight with 2 runs scored. There's a called strike to Gavin Grahovic as he hits for the 3rd time tonight. Check that, the 4th time tonight. Gavin 2 for 2, doubled in the second, and homered in the 3rd. 3 RBIs tonight for the freshman out of Orange, California. The line and the fastball called for a strike. Gavin down 0-2.
Unlucky. 2 really borderline calls went against Gavin there.
Shue, not a big guy, 5'8", 180 out of Brookline, New Hampshire. Delivers the 0-2 and got Gavin looking, and I don't think Gavin liked any 3 of those pitches. As shakes his head, puts the bat down by his hip, and trots back to the Aggie dugout. And there's 2 down here in the 5th.
That 0-2 heater got him probably the best location of any of the 3, and understand the umpire ringing him up on that one. But the first 2 are just, that's a tough at bat. Again, a guy that's got a double and a homer in the game. Also got on with a hit by pitch, and sometimes the at bats are tough, man. The pitchers, it's tough to hit for a reason. You know, success rate at the dish of 30%.
It's the only game where if you're successful 30% of the time, you're typically in the Hall of Fame. Grahovic down on strike. Here's the 1-0 to Jace, who hits a missile down the right field line, but it hooks foul. Oh, that was a rainmaker. Lavalette out in front of that one, counting even 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's the type of foul ball, Bronny, that I heard the broadcast crew last week in Globe Life talk about, is everybody's just kind of on pins and needles when he hooks 1 foul like that, whether it's a moonshot or it's a laser off the bat.
Yeah, he's so strong and he hits the ball so hard that if it exits his bat going up, you just assume it's either going to go out of the ballpark or push it.
That one's knocked foul this time down the 3rd baseline. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. That foul ball 2 pitches ago was 104 off the bat.
But again, I think these are more connected swings from Jace. I don't know if it's going to result in a successful at bat, but I know aesthetically looking at his swing, and I've seen Jace play as much as just about anybody, he looks like he's starting to figure some things out in terms of his kinetic chain.
Rhode Island with the shift. Here's the 1-2. Shue paints a fastball off the plate at 88. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The one thing I think tonight, Bronny, that I've noticed about Jace is not that his feet are ever busy or he dances at the plate, but the bottom half seems a little bit more connected, like you're talking about.
Yeah, the bottom controls the top, right? Good heavy feet controls your chin and your eyes.
2-2, got a slider there. Hit that one off the handle and skies it fouls. He stays alive. Tell you what, A&M's got hit a lot. 2 strike counts tonight. The Aggies have made this Rhode Island pitching staff work. Forced Connor Grodhoyan to throw 85 pitches. Brandon Shue's about to deliver the 35th in this relief appearance.
So they've thrown 120 compared to Ryan Prager's.
I think 50-something, 52. I have to go back and check in a second. Long look in from Shue, 2-2. Line drive off the bat of Lavalette, hooking towards the left. Levin back, off the scoreboard again. It's a solo blast. Line drive shot off the bat of Jace Lavalette. I'm not sure how it got out of here, but the launch angle at 20 degrees, exit velo at 107. It's a solo shot for Jace, his 7th of the year. 9-0 Texas A&M. How did he do it, Ronnie?
Well, I'm telling you, like, those connected swings, whether they result in hits, home runs, whatever, aesthetically, it looked like he was getting closer to himself, and what a great piece of hitting. Not only does he hit it out the opposite field, Tyler, but he hits a flat ball. He lines it out. And I thought that's what he'd been missing over the last week or so, is just seeing the ball fly out flat from his bat, not so much straight up. What an incredible swing by Jace Lavalette, and those connected swings get rewarded.
7th home run of the year now for Jace as Braden Montgomery digs in. RBI number 22, and looking at that replay, Bronny, I don't even think he took a strike. That was all hands basically, and just got it out of here.
Yeah, he's just so big and strong, and he keeps it simple and stupid, as they say. Don't overthink it, and Jace did there, and I'm hoping that that gets him back on the ball. It's just such a really compact, short stroke, and I love to see Jace hit line drives, because that means he's really going good. The home runs are going to come. It's a math equation, as Michael Early said. He's so big and strong, and the natural loft he creates, it's a math equation that he's going to hit a homer.
Braden gets it one inside.
Or going to hit homers,
yep.
Right? He doesn't have to try to go create any lift or any torque. He's got it.
So Braden now down on the count 1-2 after that Lavalette home run. Braden on the night 1 for 2, and the RBI double back in the first inning, and has also scored once. Hits with the shift on here, and the 1-2. Got a fastball up, took it all the way at 86, 2-2 now.
As a hitter, all you can control, Tyler, is making your move. So you go back and you watch your at-bats, and if you're getting out and you're not making your moves, that's the most frustrating thing. But if you're getting out and you're making good moves to the baseball, you can live with it. I thought Jace, starting with the at-bat before, started making really good moves.
Got rewarded there with that solo shot. Braden chases one up in the zone with a shift on. Levin's got to make a long run towards the left field line, try to catch it above the wall. And now he feeling now as he jumped in that pad.
He caught that.
He did catch it.
Wow.
Wow, I didn't think he caught it.
Out of our field of purview, we couldn't see what happened down the left field line.
What a grab by Levin. It's the Aggies opening up SEC play against number 22 South Carolina. Aggies win 3-0 with a shutout by Emily Kennedy. She goes 7, gives up 5 hits, struck out 10 to improve to 11-1. And Jazz Hill with a pair of doubles as the Aggies take game 1 against South Carolina as they open SEC play. So good job by Tricia Ford's ball club to take that one to open up league play. And we're back to action, and Ryan Pregler works quickly to get ahead of Brody McKenzie.
I believe we got a fireworks show going on at Davis Diamond.
We do. Friday night fireworks in effect over at Davis Diamond. You can hear them going off in the background. A lot of fireworks here if you are in the maroon and white as Prager delivers that one downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. So far in this one, A&M with home runs off the bat of Gavin Grahovic and Jace Lavalette. And the Aggies have recorded 4 two-baggers in this one to jump out to a 9-0 lead as there is a big swing and a miss from Brody McKenzie, the 9-hole hitting center fielder, and he's down to count 1-2.
Emily Kennedy and Ryan Prager, a pair of lefties on the diamond for the Aggies tonight, have been, I don't know, baseball, softball combination, the best in the SEC so far?
Both been really good as there's a slow roller to Camarillo. Ollie towards the second base bag, throws across, and there's out number 1 to start off the top of the 6th.
I haven't done my research on that, but I would imagine they're at least in the discussion, Tyler.
Yeah, Emily Kennedy putting on a pretty special season. She is now 11-1. ERA is at .79 through about 50 innings of work.
Yeah, and Ryan Prager's numbers
not far off.
Going to look very similar.
One of them with a .79 ERA, the other one scoreless through now 21 2/3 innings of work as Reese Maroney steps in and dribbles that one foul. The Aggies are back in action tomorrow over at Davis Diamond. They'll close out that series as they open SEC play. Next weekend, both teams on the road baseball heading to Florida. And then Aggie softball goes to Starkville to play Mississippi State as Prager gets another foul off the bat of Maroney, quickly 0-2.
Again, he's just commanded both sides of the plate. Gets that fastball to his glove side, kind of stuffs it under the hands of Maroney, who is the owner of the only Ram hit tonight.
Yep, had a single through the right side. Back in the third, the only base hit for Rhode Island is Prager wastes that one upstairs for a ball 1-2. Ryan up to 10 strikeouts, matching his career high. Here's a ground ball off the bat of Maroney, right to Ali Camarillo, who throws on the run for out number 2.
You know, a lot of people come to the ballpark to watch Jace Lavalette and Braden Montgomery hit. They'll come to watch Ryan Prager pitch. If you haven't been out here and watched Ali Camarillo take a ground ball, it's right up there with some of the prettiest stuff that baseball movements that this team makes. I mean, he is smooth, super smooth at shortstop.
Yeah, we got to watch Hunter Haas do a lot of that last year, and didn't know if we would find a guy as smooth as Hunter was, and maybe Ali's even taking that up a notch at short, as he's been fantastic through the first 14 games at that spot as Prager paints the outside corner for a strike.
Well, last year, if you hit the ball at Hunter Haas, you were out.
You were out. It was like a vacuum. Prager wastes one upstairs for a ball, 1 strike down to DJ Perrone, the second baseman for Rhode Island, 0 for 2 tonight.
And that's not something we've talked a lot about, is the Aggies replacing that left side defense from Trevor Warner and Hunter Haas. And it's going to be tough to replicate their success on the dirt.
That one came inside. Yeah, you talk about Haas and Warner last year, Bronny. I mean, that's 2 plus defenders. Warner with an absolutely just cannon of an arm, and the versatility of Haas to be so smooth, especially turning double plays, but his range too of what he could get to at shortstop was unreal. As that one's fouled off Perrone. That did not feel good, and he's down on both knees, slowly getting back up.
But you're replacing them this season with a pair of guys who are elite talents. And Gavin Grahovic in his life hasn't played a lot of third base.
Yeah.
But he's grown so much just in his time in College Station because he's just uber talented. And so, those guys that are gifted like that, it doesn't take them as much time to acclimate themselves. And Gavin's been pretty stinking solid through 14 games at the hot corner.
Yeah. Been about as good as you can ask for there, like Bronny said, for a guy who hadn't played a lot of innings there growing up as a prospect. 2-2 for Prager. Got him swinging. Another fastball at 91, blows it past Perrone. Andrew and Dr. Thornton on the call right here along the A&M Sports Network, and flip over and hear game 2 between the Aggies and Rhode Island after that. So here's Hayden's shot. Sabbath works from the stretch, delivers one inside of Hayden. 1 ball, no strikes to the Aggie left fielder, who is 1 for 3 tonight. Got a base hit back in the second. That drove in 2. Little bloop single that just fell right in. 1-0, shot gets into that one. McKenzie going back towards the track and center, back to the wall, and he'll leap up and make the grab to retire Hayden. Shot for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th. Just missed it. Did Hayden, but gave it a ride.
Got it. 106 off the bat, 401 feet, and almost an identical spot to his home run on Wednesday against Texas Southern. The ballpark just does hold this ball.
Yeah, any gust of wind blowing to the south, that ball gets out of here. It was White. Bronny said 106 off the bat, and if you're Joe Sabbath, that pitch was right down Texas Avenue, and he lived to fight another day. That's about as middle as you can get. And a shot hits a fly ball 398 feet.
TrackMan actually got it at 401.
401. We got to get the measuring tape out of here again.
Well, you think he caught it at the 400, at the top of the 400-foot sign, so that does make sense.
Yep.
But love that swing from Hayden. Love that he is just right in the middle of the field right now. And when he's not, it's the other way.
1-0 to Burton. Got a slider and fouled that one off. It's Teddy now even 1 ball, 1 strike. Average up to 389, 2 home runs and 10 RBIs in the year for the Michigan transfer. Originally out of Huntington Beach. Got to start at first base tonight. We were talking earlier in the broadcast, if you're just joining us, this middle of the order is going to have a ton of opportunities to hit behind Jace Laviolette and Braden Montgomery. They made the most of it tonight as Burton's 2 for 2. Big cut from Teddy and a swing and a miss. The Rams still employ that shift, trying to get Burton to pull one to the left side with 3 infielders to the left side of that second base bag. Sabbath comes set of the bell to 1-2. That one inside off the handle, and Burton fights it off. Stay alive. This is Sabbath's 4th appearance on the year. No record with a 7.71 ERA. Has thrown 2 1/3 and struck out 4, walked 1, and opponents are hitting .364 against Joe Sabbath. We mentioned earlier, this is a Rhode Island team who has had a brutal schedule to start. They have gone on the road in every game so far, at UTRGV, then at Virginia Tech, at Washington State. A lot of travel for this Rams ball club. 1-2, Teddy turns in on that slider, and the count's now 2-2 to the Aggie first baseman.
It's the first big overhand breaking ball we've seen from Sabbath. Typically, there's going to be a 16-mile-an-hour difference. If you see a 16-mile-an-hour drop, that's going to be your curveball, your old-fashioned curveball. That ball came in about 67.
Sky-high fly ball up the bat of Burton. Shortstop out, but it'll be RhodeIsland who's going to have to find it. It looked like he got camped under it, now runs to his left to make the grab for out number 2.
That little bit of north breeze obviously helps keep the Hayden shot ball in the yard. But if this breeze like it is now, if it turns around on that ball that Teddy just hit, the Rhode Island staff is going to be holding their breath because that thing was way up there. And the longer once it gets above this shell, we've seen the ball do crazy stuff. And that ball comes off the bat as hard as Teddy hit it at 100 miles an hour into that jet stream. If it's a south wind, and Teddy may be trotting around the bases right now.
Yeah, he could have got out of here in a hurry. It's funny, when the ball gets above kind of the awning and the wind's blowing out, it can really fly. And now the wind's picking up just a little bit, blowing out. So it's changed around here a couple times in the game as Appel awaits the 1-0. Now it's off the plate to Jackson.
We talked a little bit about tonight, Jackson. First pitch swinging in 2 of his 3 at-bats. It comes up empty, so what does he do? He gets in the box with 2 outs, looking to extend the inning and just patient and going to sit there and look at a few pitches from a reliever that he hasn't seen tonight.
Sabbath set of the belt, delivers a breaking ball outside. Now 3-0 to the Aggie catcher as Hank Bard awaits on deck. Well,
the Olsen Field crowd in section 202 and 203 have had a lot to cheer about tonight, but they have not had a ball 5 chant. It looks like they're itching to yell in unison.
See if Sabbath delivers a favor, and he does. That one's inside, nearly clipped Appel. 4-pitch walk. Jackson aboard for the first time tonight. There's our first ball 5 chant here at Bluebell Park this evening. It's one of the longer waits we've had this year to get into 2 outs in the 6th to get one of those.
Well, we've seen over the history of Aggie baseball here at Bluebell Park and Olsen Field, we've seen what this can do to an opposing pitcher. I have never seen it do what it did to the USC staff in Arlington on Saturday. Those poor kids just wilted under it.
There was a ton of Aggies up at Globe Life last week, and it made an impact as the Aggies swept through that series with 2 wins over Arizona State and a win over USC. And there's one downstairs to Bard, ball 1. There's ball 6.
And by the way, when they start the chant, the volume goes up from there with every subsequent ball.
Yeah, I would say like ball 5 is about at a 5 on the volume level, and it just takes one little notch up every time. And that's what really rattled USC last Saturday, until it just basically shook up their entire pitching staff. There's a pickoff attempt to chase Appel back. In fact, it caused a balk basically too in that Saturday game.
It was, you could see the body language change on those guys running out there for the Trojan pitching staff.
Sabbath at the set of the belt, the 1-0, delivers a strike. It's the applause from our fans in 203. Count even 1 ball, 1 strike to Hank Bard, who's 1 for 3 tonight.
Aggie faithful still hanging around for the most part.
Very good crowd tonight. And spring break has started here on campus. What is the first of 3 between the Rams and the Aggies in the final non-conference slate weekend series this year for A&M? There's a fastball downstairs from Sabbath. Count now 2 balls and a strike. Tell you what, I've liked Hank Bard's patience tonight, Ronnie. He's worked a couple 2-strike counts, laced a single to right. He's kind of settle into this DH role.
Hank gives you good at-bats. You feel like you can trust him in the batter's box.
Throw over again. Chases Appel back.
You know, a lot of people are wondering why are they picking over in a 9-0 game, but much like A&M's using this series for, Rhode Island can't play the scoreboard either. They've got to get ready for A-10 play.
Yeah, they've got A-10 play coming up at the end of the month. They've actually got a couple more non-conference series. As Barr gets jammed, hits that one back off the screen. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So after this, for Rhode Island, they go to UMass Lowell, and then we'll play basically a split series against Northeastern. They will play Friday and Sunday at home, and then go to Northeastern next weekend on a Saturday. Midweek against UConn, and then got a weekend series against St. Bonaventure before opening up at St. Louis in A-10. A-10 kind of stretches the geography map in terms of baseball teams. If you see that league, there's a slider, misses way outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is a Rhode Island team last year finished 23 and 29, but was 13 and 11 in the A-10. And has won 2 A-10 titles, most recently back in 2016. Count now full to Bard. Appel will be off with a pitch as he's held on by the first baseman Anderson.
Interesting that they're holding him on. I guess I don't understand picking there. Like the guy's going on the pitch. As long as, you know, if you're the runner here, your #1 goal is don't get picked. Now they'll play behind him.
Yeah, especially with a left-hand hitting Bard at the plate. It doesn't make a lot of sense to hold him on.
I mean, I don't even understand why he's standing right there behind Jackson. Just back up and play defense. There you go.
Long look in, the pitch. Appel off. And Bard down on strike, caught looking. As our home plate umpire, Brandon Cooper, rings Hank Bard up. 4th strikeout tonight for the...
Go to headquarters for any.
Clear for bonus break?
No, it's not a bonus break, just the ID.
Oh, just ID, crap.
The ranch also offers Riding Academy, new rider course that teaches you.
So the 0-2 just missed from Prager. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, just as quickly as that rain showed up, it has now dissipated. But
The wind
is picking
not.
up, and our papers are going everywhere.
Yeah, I got to get my paperweights out as Prager now works a 1-2 line drive off the bat of Anderson, hooking back towards the left field wall. Sorrell on the run. Caden tracks it down. What a catch for out #1 to rob Michael Anderson of his first hit of the night.
That is a fantastic route in left field by Caden Sorrell. Welcome to the game, freshman. Here's the toughest chance of the night for the Aggie defense, and he turned and ran. Got some good communication from his center fielder, Jace Lavalette, about where the wall was, and he's able to kind of make a circus catch, but that was just a fantastic jump off the bat by Sorrell and left.
It's funny how the ball finds you as soon as you get inserted into the game. Nice running grab by the freshman. Prager delivers a first pitch strike to Anthony DePino, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Strikeout in the second, ground out in the 4th as DePino gets into that one and hooks it foul.
Okay, interesting now. That's a foul ball, but that's a good swing by a Rhode Island hitter. Coming right behind a good swing from a Rhode Island hitter. Ryan Prager now at 83 pitches, the most he's thrown this year.
Yep. 0-2, another hard hit ball off the bat of DePino, nearly in the same spot. Skies it foul.
So they have all these metrics on these pitches in the dugout available, just like we do here with the TrackMan. They're monitoring the analytics of this stuff. If they notice that Prager's stuff is starting to wear a little bit in the mid-80 range. That's a good data point for this coaching staff.
Yep. As he's getting lengthened out here, 0-2. Another good swing from DePino, stays alive. I knew Coach Schlossnagle, when talking pre-game, he's like, I like to get him, around that 85-90 mark before you go into Florida next weekend. But like you're saying, Bronny, this is also the first time that Prager's gone through the order 3 times against any opponent he's faced.
He's still throwing the ball in the strike zone, too. So it's not like he's lost anything in terms of command, but maybe just to tick off the stuff.
1-2, good pitch. DePino didn't chase, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. To the third baseman, Anthony DePino, who is the career leader in home runs for Rhode Island, now with 32. Hitting .303 on the year. 1-2, got him, looking. Prager paints the inside corner with a fastball at 91, his 12th K of the night. What a pitch from the sophomore lefty to put the second out on the board here in the 7th.
So early in the count, DePino got a couple of good barrels on some elevated pitches. Hooked him foul, get to a 2-strike count. Prager misses with an off-speed down, and then what does he do? He locates, he stuffs a fastball right there underneath the right-handed hitter's hands. Just what a tough sequence for a hitter, and for him to do that. It doesn't matter what the jersey says of the hitter in the box. Like, that's a tough sequence regardless if it's the Rhode Island Rams or the Boston Red Sox.
Another one outside from Prager as he's down the count 2-0. I can't imagine after getting a couple hittable pitches that DePino got, he thought he was going to get one buried down and in like that. That has just been elite stuff all night from Ryan Prager. He works there with a 9-0 lead as that one's tomahawked foul off the bat. And
now, I'm asking this, Tyler, because I don't remember, but how many 2-0 counts has he been in tonight?
2.
That was his second.
It came to Eric Ginther twice, actually.
Okay, so 2 all night. Yep. That's incredible.
There's a big swing and a miss. Full Ginther. Now the count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Prager has not faced a 3-ball count all night, Bronny.
Just sensational. He has been so much fun to watch tonight.
1 pitch away from getting out of the 7th scoreless. The line to 2-2. Swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying. Strikeout number 13 for Ryan Prager. Oh my, what a
remarkable performance. And for the team as well, Tyler, they've been sharp. After a little bit of a lull in that midweek against Texas Southern, it's good to see them come out and play a really high-quality baseball game.
Been high quality, to say the least.
They've been good on defense. Obviously, the pitching has been outstanding. You saw Caden Sorrell come in the game and make an outstanding play. It's just sharp from top to bottom.
Not even to mention all the 2-out hitting that the Aggies have done tonight. That's where most of the productions come from, as Sabbath flips a curveball in for a strike to Caden Kent, who's down in the hole 0-2 tonight. The Aggies have done almost all of their damage with 2 outs. A&M 7 for 13 with 7 2-out RBIs.
And from an offensive standpoint, I think the most encouraging thing that has happened is twofold. Number one has been just the energy at the bottom of the order that Travis Chestnut has brought in his first start.
Slider, up foul off the bat by Kent.
And secondly, and perhaps more important as you're heading into SEC play, Jace Lavalette hits a backside homer at 107 miles an hour, where the ball probably didn't get higher than halfway up the scoreboard in its flight out there to left center field. That's a hugely encouraging data point to start the weekend.
Not to mention just all the extra base hits, the pressure that A&M's put on this Rhode Island defense as Kent gets a piece of it and fouls it back. A couple other changes for you really quick. Rhode Island with 2 defensive changes. Get it to you in a moment after this pitch. As the shift continues for Caden Kent, now with 3 Rhode Island infielders on the right side of that second base bag. And Caden takes that one all the way. Count now 1-2.
These at-bats are important too, because Caden Kent, really good player who we all believe is going to impact this season in some way, shape, or form. And so this isn't just some kind of throwaway at bat late in the game of a blowout on a Friday night. Caden's up there competing, and he wants to see his at bats and his game time increase too.
1-2, skipped up there and blocked by the catcher Butler. Defensive changes for you really fast. Ryan Henschel into play first base for the Rams, or check that, Michael Borelli into play First base for the Ram, Ryan Hitchell, is going out to left field for the Rams. As Ken now hits with a 2-2 count. Caden at 261 on the year, no home runs, 2 RBIs. See if he can shoot one down this left field line. It's wide open. Got a pitch inside. Fouled it off his foot, stays alive.
Caden has always been a really gifted bat-to-ball player. Sometimes so much so that it gets him in trouble. Go back to something I said earlier. Just because I can hit it doesn't mean I should hit it. But with 2 strikes, it makes him quite the pest.
Yeah, he grinds at bats. Very rarely you see Caden Kent not put up a big effort at the plate trying to foul pitches off. 2-2. Chop that one foul. Stays alive. Good AB so far from Caden Kent to start us off in the bottom of the 7th as Travis Chestnut awaits on deck. If you're just joining us, the Aggies got on the board in the first thanks to a Braden Montgomery RBI double, then plated 4 2-out runs in the 2nd, 2 more 2-out runs in the 3rd, then tacked on a run in the 4th and the 5th to make it 9-0, and where we stand here with no outs in the 7th. Sabbath's 2-2, Caden inside, fouled that one off.
Kind of goes back to what I said. That ball is almost at his front hip. And he's able to move it and extend the life of the at-bat. You know, not a beauty contest with 2 strikes, Tyler.
Sometimes it's just about staying alive and punching it and putting it in play.
You know, thank God for Will Johnson that it's never been a beauty contest, right?
7-inning Will Johnson right here. They still pay him full over there in softball at 7 innings. Yeah, he didn't get cheated.
Glad you made it over here, Will.
2-2. Breaking ball gets away from Sabbath, way outside, counts now full. Yeah, you know, Will had to call the game with a real professional, Tori Vidalis.
Oh.
Not just talking to us. Like, you know, Tori works for this thing called ESPN,
legend.
yeah, SEC Network, all of them. And he says 1 hour and 37 minutes. We were talking about pace of play over here and just getting one rub in our face like that. Full count now to Kent. Caden waits at 3-2, got a slider and stays alive. Really more of like your traditional 10-6 curveball from Joe Sabbath, who is in his first full inning of relief. Pitch number 10 coming up here to Caden Kent as he hits with a count full. 3-2. Line drive off the bat at Kent, right towards the new left fielder. It's going to fall in. Kent around first. He's headed towards second. He'll slide in head first, and it'll be a leadoff double off the bat of Caden Kent. Caught Hinchell by surprise, and he slipped. I don't think he got a great read off the bat. And like Caden Sorrell in the top of the 7th, Brawny, when you get inserted into the ballgame, sometimes baseball tends to find you pretty quickly. That's what happened to Hinchell
number 1, fantastic at bat by Caden Kent, regardless of what the result was going to be. Comes off the bench and gets in there and grinds out a 10-pitch, double-digit pitch at bat. And then, so credit to Caden there, and then credit this front blowing in for playing games with that baseball once it was in the air. But you're right, I don't think that new left fielder had a very good grasp of what the ball was doing and what the wind is doing. It's very much shifted from earlier this game.
Yeah, you've got one flag pointing one way and one flag pointing the opposite way in the outfield as Travis Chestnut takes the ball inside.
A good barometer for me, Tyler, is when I look across Kyle Field out there to Aggie Park at the American flag, because of how big that one is. Gives you, I think, a better idea of how hard the wind is gusting once it gets above the shell here.
Just breaking ball in for a strike to Chestnut. Yeah, the flags here, they would kind of be below the awning of the ballpark. When you look out in Aggie Park towards out our distance towards our right, the wind has really picked up, really blowing in more from, I guess, the west, kind of northwest, because it comes in and it's definitely picked up in the last inning. So 1-1, Chestnut knocks that one foul back to the screen. We've seen that breaking ball consistently from Joe Sabbath.
And for those wondering, I don't believe we're playing with a run rule at all this weekend.
No, we are either.
On Sunday, they may run into a thing where Rhode Island has to leave. So a getaway day time limit, yeah.
Yep. Caden Kent at second. 1-2 count to Chestnut with no outs. Here's the pitch, fastball. And Sabbath got it by him as Travis down on strikes for the first time tonight.
Pinch hitter.
The Aggies are going to begin to open up the roster card. Jim Schlossnagle gets the lineup card. He will send Jack Bell to the plate to hit for Gavin Grahovac here with one out in the bottom of the 7th. Good night for Gavin, though, as he finishes 2 for 3 with a home run, double, hit by pitch, and scored 3 times, drove in 3 runs. That's a really good night for the freshman third baseman. Now Jack Bell's turn.
And he passes the baton to another hugely talented freshman.
As there's a called strike to Bell, 0-1.
Do want to give a shout out. Got a very kind text from one Troy Claunch
Oh,
listening
man.
to the broadcast, watching us tonight. Troy, we wish you all the best, man.
The original 12th man, for baseball at least.
And an Aggie legend in one season.
Absolutely. Key part of that World Series team in 2022 is Bell skies that one foul.
Not been many that have come in one season and endeared themselves to the 12th man
Like Troy
and Aggie
Claunch
baseball fans like Troy Claunch.
You talk about a guy who was a warrior behind the plate, especially down the stretch in SEC play, man, 2022. He's a key cog in this offense that got the Aggies to the College World Series. Lefty-righty matchup as Jack Bell hits for the first time here. Pinch hit opportunity for the freshman out of Corpus. Kenneth second, the 1-2 outside now, 1-2.
Think back to Troy catching in that super regional here against Louisville, where it was seemingly 1,000 degrees on the field, and had the game-winning hit and get in the walk-off in game 1, and then the block on the slider in the dirt and the put out to send the Aggies to Omaha.
1-2, line drive off the bat of Jack Bell, hooking down the right field line. It'll fall all the way to the wall. Here comes Caden Kent. He'll score with these. Jack Bell gears down to second, and he's got a double. It has been a two-bag kind of night for this A&M offense. Jack Bell with a pinch hit RBI double, and it's now 10-0 A&M.
I mentioned hugely talented freshman taking the place of another hugely talented freshman in Jack Bell for Gavin Grahovac. And Jack's got some real hitterish qualities, man. You watch him enough and finds a way to get the bat on the ball. He's had good at bats. You know, he's been walking a lot when he's been getting his opportunities. So we haven't gotten to see him have a chance to really get in the groove by swinging the bat. And another member of that 2023 signing class that the coaching staff anticipates a big future from in Aggieland.
He's made several starts at second over the last week. Comes off the bench with a pinch hit double to drive in Caden Kent. Now 10-0 Aggies. As that breaking ball inside to Justin Bosses, who will hit here in place of Jace Lavalette. So Jim Schlossnagle emptying out the lineup card.
Redshirt freshman from Fort Bend Ridge Point. Played on the same summer league team as Caden Kent, Jace Lavalette, Connor Wigman.
So you're saying it was a pretty talented team, huh?
They were pretty stout.
There's a called strike to Justin. JV on the year, 250, no home runs, no RBIs.
You know, that RBI double by Bell, fans let go of the bubbles and they took off in this wind, flying across our faces there.
Slider grounded foul right into the Aggie dugout. Yeah, the wind has picked up, and that has got the friendly fans down the line starting to scour towards their cars as temperatures drop just a little bit. It was 78 at first pitch. It's cooled off considerably. Not too bad, but over the last probably 30 minutes as the wind has picked up. This cold front has moved through. Sabbath comes set at the belt, peers at Bell at second, delivers a 1-2. That's skipped up there. Gets past the catcher, Butler, and Jack Bell's up 90 feet to third base on a wild pitch.
Rams have a left-hander up and throwing in their bullpen. Sabbath closing in on that 45 pitch mark. I know you said he's made a few appearances this season. Don't know kind of the length of those outings. I guess you could look those up. But
yeah, he's only gone about an inning plus in each one. Entered tonight 2 2/3 of work through 3 appearances. Chance for Voss right here to drive in another run with Bell at third, 1 down, 2-2 count. And here's the pitch. Slider blocked up by Butler. Count now full to Justin.
This wind is circling in our booth here and blew my water over and papers everywhere.
We got to invest in some paperweights in this booth. We should know that is how much the wind picks up when it comes in from center. One day we'll learn our lesson.
Looks like we'll see a pinch hitter for Braden Montgomery as well on deck.
Yeah, Jet Johnson has grabbed his stick. He'll wait on deck. 3-2, breaking ball. Caught the inside half. JV down on strikes for out number 2.
And that's a tough thing to do in a game like this where that's probably a ball. Yeah, that's a ball. And probably an expanded.
Lead 6-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Tennessee continuing to lead, and then the Aggies' next opponent in SEC play to open up league play. Florida leads St. Mary's 3-2 as they play in Gainesville.
What do you got on the mascot for Indiana Fort Wayne?
Are they the Mastodons?
That's correct.
There we go. As Jed Johnson digs in for a strike, or call a swing and strike, 0-1. I'll give you this: you got the Mastodons and the St. Mary's Gales all playing this weekend against SEC opponents.
That's one of my time passers. See if I can name all the FCS, or formerly known as 1AA mascots.
0-1 to Jet. Johnson skies that one. Second baseman King out, center fielder coming in. Now it'll be the right fielder, Ginther, to make the grab as he makes the running catch to retire Jet Johnson to close the books.
Out of words to describe it. You're going to get repetitive because you're going to use fantastic, sensational over and over again.
Superb, to say the least, as Brett Antolik delivers a first pitch strike to Ryan King. For Antolik, this is appearance number 2. Worked a scoreless inning. In his only appearance, allowed one run that was not earned on 1 hit and 1 strikeout. Ground ball to Jack Bell, who is at third. Jack Fields throws on the run across to Blake Bender up to retire King for out number 1. Let's reset the Aggie defense for you while we've got a moment, as A&M has inserted basically a shift change defensively. Jet Johnson in left across the Aggie outfield. Travis Chestnut moves from second to center field. Caden Sorrell over from left field to right field across the infield. It's Jack Bell at third, Caden Kennett short, Justin Vossas at second, Blake Bender up into the game at first, with Max Coffer now behind the dish, replacing Jackson Appel, and Brent Antolik on the mound as he delivers one inside to Jack Hopko for ball 1.
Antolik, another super talented member of that 2023 signing class. We've talked about the position players so far. We got a glimpse at Isaac Morton the other night in that start against Texas Southern, and much like Morton, it's not hard to imagine a future of Brett Antolik in a weekend SEC rotation.
Yeah, sinker, slider mix. Has really kind of worked on a changeup with Max Weiner. He is a 3-pitch guy who profiles well as a starter. Hard hit ground ball right to Justin Vossas at second, who fires over to Blake Bender up quickly. 2 ground ball outs for Ben Antolik here in the 8th.
Yeah, the arm talent is very much apparent when you watch Antolik, and he's going to deliver the baseball very similarly to Nathan Detmer.
Yeah, good
very,
comp.
very similar arsenal. Big, sturdy right-hander, wants to sink the baseball and get ground balls early and count contact, but there's still some stuff I know that they're tinkering with to try to continue have the arsenal play up and maybe even get a little bit more life out of that 2-seam fastball. But they certainly like kind of the floor where he started in his true freshman season.
Now one outside to Rob Butler, catcher. Hard hit ground ball, going to get underneath the glove of Jack Bell at first. Should be a hit. The second one of the night for Rhode Island, as that was hit on the screws by the catcher Rob Butler for his first hit. He's at second with 2 outs, or excuse me, at first with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about. That the fastball has good life, but it does have a tendency to flatten out on Antolik here and there. So he's just continuing to work and tinker with stuff, but I like the look of this young right-hander.
Face Brody McKenzie here with 2 down now after the base hit by Butler. That one's fouled off for McKenzie, who is 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout in the 3rd and a ground out in the 6th.
And Tyler, what have you noticed about Antolik since he's come into the game?
Pepper in the strike zone, my friend.
Again, that's the pitching staff is not just talking about dominating the zone. They're going out and doing it.
Oh, there's a filthy slider for a strike, quickly 0-2.
And I'm a big believer that Ryan Prager has been an enormous factor in all of those guys going out to the pitcher's mound and attacking the strike zone the way they have. He's led from the front.
Tolik set of the belt. See if Brett can close it out here. Long look in. Delivers the 0-2. Another slider, this time off the plate. Yeah, if you're the guy that's going to follow up the starter who struck out 13 and basically was about 85% in terms of strike ratio, you want to be able to come back in as the first guy of the pen and follow that up with a bunch of strikeouts. And Antolik's done so far just that by peppering the strike zone. Now went down and in with a sinker, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, but it's the mentality that has permeated the entire staff.
Yep.
Nobody wants to be the guy that runs out there and doesn't live up to their mantra.
2-2, ground ball. First chance for Caden Kent. He's going to flip to second as Vasas covers to retire the Rams as Butler retired 6-4 to close the books on the top of the 8th. Ninth frame by Brett Antolik, only hit for the Aggies. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, Sorrell came out in the 6th as a defensive replacement, now getting his first AB from the left side, and he will face the left-handed throwing Ethan Mahan, who's in his first full inning of work on the mound out of the pen. There's a called strike to Caden, 0-1.
Did I see that right on the scoreboard that LSU and Xavier in the bottom of the first? A little rain delay in Baton Rouge?
Must have. The score I had too was bottom of the first. Now I'm using our good friends at D1 Baseball, their score tracker. That one's outside, one breaking ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot of weather playing havoc. I know Auburn and Austin Peay moved up that game earlier today at Plainsman Park to get it in. A couple Big 12 series have been affected by the weather north of us.
Arkansas moved their opener to tomorrow.
Big swing and a miss from Sorrell. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jen McNeese, who we saw about 3 weeks ago, they're up at Fayetteville, going to face the Hogs.
Coach Hill putting together one heck of a non-conference schedule.
Sorrell waits the 1-2. Caden hits a line drive. That's going to get all the way to the left center field wall. Sorrell around first. McKenzie there to cut it off against the wall. Sorrell heading towards third. As he rounds second, he will slide in head first with a triple.
This freshman class is something else, Tyler.
Great piece of hitting from Caden Sorrell. Hit him where they ain't. Had a huge gap in left center between Henschel and McKenzie. And Sorrell turns on the afterburners for his first career triple. And the Aggies lead it off here with another base hit to start the 8th.
You got to look at all the tools in the kit of Caden Sorrell. Backside line drive that cuts right through this north wing, gets all the way to the wall, and then he starts turning those bases. He looks like a miniature of Jace Lavalette coming around second base.
He got rolling. First pitch swinging Blake Bender up. That's going to drive in a run. Long throw across, gets past the first baseman, Borcelli, to the wall, but Bender up's going to stay there. We'll see how they score. It hit it in the hole. Either way, it's an RBI for Blake Bender up as that brings home Caden Sorrell.
Yeah, again, with where the shortstop caught this ball, there are not many shortstops walking the planet that can make that throw flat-footed as the Rhode Island shortstop just attempted to do. Yeah. Throw really lost some steam as it got over there toward first base, and not only lost steam, it was off the mark. He was going to pull the first baseman off the bag had he caught it.
Yeah, Bender up hit it hard on 2 hops, but shortstop Maroney had a long way to go to get that ball across. Looks like they've scored that in E6. Either way, it's going to be an RBI for Bender up. As the Aggies tack on another run, it's now 11-0. Here's Max Coffer for the first time tonight. Max at 200 on the year, no homers and 2 RBIs. Takes that one outside, so count even 1-1.
Yeah, as you start emptying the bench and get more guys in the game, it's still important that they don't give it bats away. It's important for them as players. It's important for the culture of the team. It all matters. And in blowouts, if you're on either side of the coin.
Max gets under that one, fouls it. Out of play, count 1-2. Like the approach so far, though, Bronny, like you're talking about. Jack Bell in the 7th with that pinch hit RBI double really worked that count to drive in that run. Sorrell jumps on the first pitch he sees and shoots the gap in left center.
And look, Bender up executes with a runner at third and less than 2 outs in the infield back. I'm sure coming off the bench, he'd probably, if you ask him, he'd probably want to see another pitch, but got the job done regardless of, the error on the other end. That was going to score a run, whether the throw was made or not.
As Coffer takes that down and in for Mahan, count 2-2. One thing I haven't brought up, Bronny, we've got a battle of pinstripe uniforms tonight. Aggies in their white tops and the maroon pinstripes. Rhode Island with a nice gray and navy blue pinstripe road unis. As that one skips up, caught Coffer in the foot. Max is going to take his base. Second hit by pitch from Rhode Island pitching tonight. Now Bender up to second, Max at first, and it'll bring up Hank Bard.
Most famous Rhode Island alum, Lamar Odom?
You know he didn't graduate from there. I looked up. Most famous student, yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay. You got me there, technicality.
I know, technicality. There's one other, I believe Catino Mobley played there.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Former Houston Rocket great Catino Mobley.
There you go.
You can't convince me that era of Rockets jerseys aren't the best.
Yeah, we're talking about 94, 95 there.
Yeah. Well, no. I think it was a little bit after. It was like
that's
Stevie
the Navy
franchise.
Blue, Steve Francis, late Charles Barkley career.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I can go with that. That's a good look.
Kevin Willis at center.
Now, Kevin Willis, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah,
there
that guy, bicep curls every day.
Every day. As David Fisher, the pitching coach, out to talk to his freshman lefty Ethan Mahan, as the Aggies have scratched one across here in the eighth to make it 11-0. Now
How did you know Lamar Odom didn't graduate from Rhode Island?
it was just like on the Wikipedia, man. It had a little star, a little asterisk.
Okay. I thought you just picked that up through your. I didn't know if you were keeping up with the Kardashians fan.
No, I'm not. No. Not enough time to keep up with the Kardashians these days. As Bard digs in from the left side, Hank's had a good night, 1 for 4 with a run driven in.
Time or want to, I guess.
Time, want to. You know, with the two kiddos at the house, we're more of like a Bluey kind of any kind of children's programming. Blippy, watching the Muppets, you name it. We're all on that. 1-0, just missed inside on a bad pitch for Mahan. Count 2 balls, no strikes. Yeah, I guess if I had to do my alumni rankings so far of the non-conference opponents, I'm going to scratch Arizona State and USC because they've got some pretty prominent ones. Fran Dresser probably from Wagner, number 1, and then we'll go from there.
Are you kidding? McNeese, Joe Dumars.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got the McNeese homage.
And yours truly.
And yours truly, yeah. You would be in the top 3 of that group. You, Joe Dumars, and Fran Dresser. As Bard has worked the count 3-0, with Bender up at second and Coffer at first.
Rhode Island does have someone else up and throwing in their pen.
As Mahan gets a breaking ball over the plate for a strike, 3-1. As what is remaining, a Section 203 was asking for another ball 5 chant. Mahan got the breaking ball across. Freshman comes set at the chest and delivers the pitch to Bard, who gets underneath that one. High fly ball. McKenzie, the center fielder, coming in. Shortstop Maroney out. The Wind's playing tricks with it, but Maroney, he somehow corrals it for out number 2.
You get an infield fly call there.
Yeah,
so
they just put it up. Yep.
Ups like that are tough on nights like tonight, especially when the wind has just completely, let's say it's flipped, but it's certainly more aggressive than it was when the game started. Sunset in Aggie Land, and we've really seen that wind start whipping around. And if you're not used to this, and there's no way that these Rhode Island players are, not only tonight, tomorrow we're looking at forecasts with 15, 20-mile-an-hour gusts,
yeah.
Tyler. So I would imagine their batting practice tomorrow is going to have some pop-up play in it, whether it be from a fungo bat with a coach or those hack attacks where they're just firing them off. I would think that the coaching staff for Rhode Island would think that advantageous as part of their pregame routine.
Yeah, and they played through a lot of weather last weekend, too. Washington State had a 4-game set out at Pullman schedule, only got 3 of them in, but can't imagine it was fun to play out there either. The elements out in the Pacific Northwest as Kent has worked ahead 2-1. Caden earlier tonight ended up reaching on a double.
Take this time to say that I think his father should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we brought that up a couple weeks ago. I'm with you. A guy who wins an MVP should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. And this guy as consistent as his dad was should be too, as there's a called strike.
Well, and I think a guy that is the all-time home run leader at a position.
Correct. Most home runs by a second baseman in Major League Baseball history.
And I'm sure Jeff Kent is milling around the ballpark somewhere. You'd never notice him. He keeps a low profile these days.
2-2, Caden down on strikes. Is good slider there from Mahan. Retires Kent on strikes. 2 down here in the 8th, and we'll bring up Travis Chestnut for the 5th time tonight.
That was one of the more well-executed pitches we've seen from the Rhode Island staff. quite a few innings.
And the
Very good lefty-lefty slider to get the swing through.
The visit by David Fisher, the Rhode Island pitching coach, has settled Mahan down, got the infield fly, now a strikeout.
Max Wiener-esque, you could say,
Yeah.
that visit.
Flip the switch as Mahan still works with 2 aboard, and the Oilers went up and into Travis Chestnut, who is 1 for 3 tonight, doubled in the second. Got the 2-out rally going in that frame, then came around to score, and also walked and scored in the third. Caused a lot of havoc on the base path with a stolen base, and then a errant throw by the starter, Connor Gretorian, allowed Chestnut to get to third, and the Aggies cashed that in 4 pitches later with a Gavin Grahovic 2-run blast. It's Chestnut up in the count 2-0.
He also rifled a line drive right at the center fielder.
Yep, hit one on the screws back in the 5th. 2-0, there's a called strike to Chestnut, who got the start at second, now in center. Is really the only spot left in this kind of Aggie order that Jim Schlossing was still trying to kind of get something hammered down, is really that second base spot.
And I'm going to guess, based off the substitutions we've seen tonight, that Ryan Targach is still nursing that wrist.
Yeah, same. I thought the same thing, Bronny. This would be a good night to get Targo a pinch hit if he was available, as Chestnut takes it outside.
Talked to him this week, and they were hoping for him to start swinging off a tee with those light baseballs. See how that felt.
Chestnut takes a called strike. Second time tonight that Travis thought he had ball 4 and ends up now going to have to walk back to home plate. Happened in his last at bat where he struck out swinging.
Full count, 2 outs. Bender up and Coffer will be moving on the pitch.
Mahan, long look into the plate, delivers the pitch as the runners go. And that's skipped up there. Now the bases are loaded. Good take from Travis there not to chase anything out of the zone. And now they're juiced up for Jack Belt.
Just keeps having good at-bats. Writing his own name in the lineup.
And if you had to pick a guy, I think, Bronny, to put in the 9-hole, it's not going to be Ali Camarillo. 1 for 1 tonight with a pitch hit double. And drove in a run back in the 7th. A&M has scored in every frame tonight except the 6th. And already tacked on a run here in the 8th. Thanks to a RBI from Blake Bender up. There's one down into Jack Bell with the bases loaded. 1 ball, no strikes as Foster delivers that pitch. Redshirted a year ago for the Rams. Out of Lincoln, Rhode Island, 6-foot freshman righty. So he comes in a big spot here with the bases loaded. Called strike, 1-1.
One of the greatest movies of all time based in Rhode Island, or at least started there. One Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber, good call. Sky high pop up off the bat of Jack Bell. This could be trouble. Center fielder McKenzie in. King the second baseman out along with the shortstop Maroney. But it'll be McKenzie who hangs in there and makes the grab to retain.
USA invitee last summer. Didn't make that final roster, but was invited to the trials.
And he's a guy who, like Bronny said, big fastball, can get up to 94. Also got a good slider. He actually has a palm ball. But he's not going to throw it there. That's a first pitch strike at 92 from Eldridge Armstrong and Nicholas Toro, who's going to pitch it for the Rams. The 0-1. That gets past Coffer as Armstrong runs that one by him.
95 there. And just a kind of complete 180 change of face of this pitching staff. From the top end, the depth, the mentality.
There's a called strike at 93 on the outer half, 1-2. Last year, Armstrong made 30 appearances out of the pen for the Aztecs, was 5-1 with a 3.24 ERA. Basically struck out a batter inning, 46 Ks in 41 innings of work. He's up 1-2 here. Here's the pitch. Good slider, didn't get the go around from Toro, and it counts 2-2.
You know, these kids from Rhode Island have got to be thinking, we saw 7 innings of big stuff from Ryan Prager, and it gets to be a blowout game, and then what do the Aggies do? In the final few frames, they run out 90 to 95 mile-an-hour right-handers behind Prager.
got it. No, he didn't. I guess we're not going to get the call from our home plate umpire, Brandon Cooper, who flinched on that one as Max Coffer has a quick word, and Armstrong gets the ball back. Fooled me, count now 3-2. May have fooled everybody in the ballpark. Eldridge's got to work back from a full count here and stretch the pitch. There's strike 3 right down Texas Avenue. First career strikeout as an Aggie for Eldridge Armstrong, one down here in the ninth.
94-mile-an-hour fastball, well located in a full count spot. Again, like, all this is important. These are important data points as this coaching staff gets ready to make decisions on an SEC conference play roster.
That one skips off Coffer's glove as a fastball at 95 from Armstrong. That was good old number 1. Blew it right down the pipe at 94.
And, you know, Eldridge getting his first opportunity to pitch at Texas A&M tonight. Maybe he's a little jazzed up.
Yeah, I think it's a moment he's waited for sure. 1-0. Ground ball to Blake Bender up on 2 hops. Blake scoops. Underhand toss to Armstrong, who covers the bag, and there's 2 down.
But this is another really intriguing arm for Jim Schlossnagel and Max Wiener and the Aggie coaching staff, because it's power stuff. And you don't accumulate those kind of numbers that he has over the course of his college career at a pretty good baseball institution like San Diego State, so much so that USA Baseball takes notice if you're a nobody. So decisions upcoming.
Yeah, that's the thing, is this travel roster gets trimmed down. Somebody good's going to get left home.
There's going to be pro players left home.
There is just the limited spots. There's a ground ball to the left side.
Nice
Jack
play.
Bell cuts in front of Caden Kidd, throws on the run for out number 3. And just like that, Texas A&M picks up their 5th shutout of the year behind 7.